welcome to another episode of Crit Seekers. I had to do it weird because I've done it normal the last couple. So anyways, welcome back. So happy to have you joining us again for another episode of What the Fuck Are We Gonna Do This Time?
Probably stay in mid-cross.
Yeah, just go back to mid-cross. We don't need to do anything else. I hope everyone's week has been absolutely amazing, and we are happy to be back together playing, as always. I don't think there's anything to really bring up before the session, so we might as well, I'm gonna jump right into the game. Demons!
Whoa!
The Talented Seven face another demon incursion, the second that the party has faced since their forming. Combating this with their new ally, Artanis, the Talented Seven thwart the would-be incursion by these demons and some mysterious cackling skull within the portal. Making their way back down into the watchtower, Artanis gives them a bit of information that maybe they didn't realize about the world around them. Also grants Seven a new bow. Oh, fuck, I forgot to make the item card. It's been a week. Sorry, guys. I will give it to you. I'll make it as we go. Anyway, and
Plus 20
giving
damage.
Nyx the ability to
things.
communicate with her little bat friend, Flicker. And that's basically how we spent last session. You guys had your combat, you thwarted that demon incursion, and learned a little bit of information from Artanis, kind of not questioning, but discussing with him as you all made your way back down into the watchtower. You had gone back up to the top of the watchtower briefly to try and figure out who had led this or been, behind this incursion into the material plane, coming up with the name Orcus, the Demon Prince of Undeath, one of the demon lords of the Abyss. Seemingly, these creatures had some type of connection to him, as a couple of them had his symbol etched into their chest, and one of the other ones had a worn, kind of like a reliquary almost, but like a symbol to Orcus himself. And then you had made your way back down and bunked for the night within Set's watch, the watchtower which you had spent this time in. So we will start off with you all have taken a long rest. You got all your spell slots back. I believe you're no longer exhausted.
I'm no longer exhausted.
We haven't woken up yet.
So we need to backtrack. During the night, 7. No.
I hate dreaming.
It really has been 3 months, though,
It's
hasn't
been
it?
a long fucking time.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, we
Real
did take a
life.
big break.
but still.
But it's been about 3 months.
I feel like he should have
exhausted
lost.
since, October.
Oh wait, never mind.
Lost what?
Nothing.
What do you feel like? What should I have done?
Don't put it
Give me
on.
ideas.
Stop. Don't.
Should have lost one of his numbers.
So tired of being so tired.
Fair. Anyway, you all awake in the morning, having stayed in the small bunk room that you had found on arriving at Set's watch. The beds were a little dusty, as it seemed that Artanis had only really kept up his bunk, but had a good night's rest after everything that has occurred. And as you make your way back out into the main kind of area of Set's watch, you can see Artanis has arranged some plates around the table and has cooked you guys up kind of like a rudimentary breakfast. There's some eggs that have been foraged. There's some what appears to be deer meat that has been cooked, and some vegetables that somehow were gathered nearby, you'd assume. And he is over at the kind of cook area, the kitchen area that he had been in the first evening that you had kind of conversed with him. He turns and sees you all come in and go, well, I have cooked you up a bit of food as a thank you for what you did for me yesterday. Please, have a seat, eat.
Hey,
I will
take.
do so.
Oh, you are so cool and kind.
Thank you, Tal.
Thank
He
you.
just nods, kind of goes back to prepping something else. Looks like he's just prepping some sort of food. We enjoy some breakfast. Is there anything you would like to say before you head back out on your journey to the city of Mathanor?
Didn't you write his name in your friend book?
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, this.
Wait.
Did you do that in front of everybody?
Yeah, I'm never subtle about it.
True.
I'm very dramatic. Take out my book, then take out my pen, and like write very like
It's very
exaggerated.
cartoonish. I just looked it up. It was the 18th of November when I did my backstory and I fell to exhaustion. It's the 17th of February. So 3 months.
Hell yeah.
I've been exhausted for
second day.
3 fucking months.
But we didn't play for like 5 weeks in there.
So
Still.
3
I
months.
was still
3 months
exhausted
exhausted.
during that
Evan's
whole
been in
time.
like limbo.
Yeah.
Rip
true.
7,
Tired.
honestly.
Okay,
I don't know how to do it.
Tails.
Oh yeah.
Veracity or challenge?
Oh.
Veracity. Choose.
Okay, I choose veracity.
All right, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I know you have your friend book, and that means that we are your friend. But is there
Oh,
any
yeah.
other reason why you write people's like? Why do you write your friends' names in that book?
Oh, so I always remember them.
Insight check. I want to know if it's actually anything more than that. If there's a purpose.
I don't know
that
if
he
you could
seems to be-
necessarily use an insight check to glean that information. You'd probably have to go down a line of questioning. You can insight check him to see if he's
Well, if he seems
Speaking
like if it
honest
seems like
about-
there's more to it than
Okay,
just
yeah, roll an insight
friends.
check.
I get a natural 20.
Watch it be a natural.
I
one.
thought about this week and I was like, it is weird. It's like
What about Tails isn't weird?
that is a 22.
a 22.
Watch, it's just a friend.
Yeah, I'll let
I
you
always-
answer this one because, I mean, whatever you feel that your face would show.
Okay, that's fair, but I also want to talk to you about some stuff.
Oh my god.
I knew it.
At the break, apparently.
I do.
We can come back to this
Yeah.
too if you need to talk about something. Just
No,
remember
it's
it.
okay. No.
I know the basics of it, but unless there's something more to it that
Yeah,
I
I
don't,
haven't- I haven't said
I'm not aware of. Okay.
It is nice, but I mean, so what's your question again?
If there's more to, like, because I want to know, like, you write down all these names, but I started thinking, like, maybe there's, like, purpose to it. It's not just, hey, these are my friends. I feel like there's something sinister behind it, and I want to see if there's more that you're not telling us about the friend book.
So, Tail is like happy, of course, that he has these people in his friend book. You don't really, because you're 22. I'm gonna play DM for a sec.
No, please go ahead because this is obviously
It doesn't
something I'm
seem
not
like
aware of
it's
right now.
anything sinister, but there's definitely more to it than just
Okay.
that.
So he kind of like says, "No, it's just friends," and kind of
Oh,
lingers.
just
There's a pause towards the end of what he says that feels like he's not fully elaborating.
Okay. Okay. Just friends.
Oh yeah.
That's what I thought. Just
Do
wanted
you
to make
not
sure.
write down your friends? In
Well, I just
your
remember them in my
book?
head. Don't you remember your friends?
Kind of. I try, but I have so many because I so popular.
Well, then, is your book full?
Oh no.
Do you have multiple volumes?
No, this just one book. Yeah.
Okay. So what happens when you fill it up? Are you going to start a new one?
Oh, maybe, but there's so many pages here. I don't know if that ever happened.
Well, you seem to make friends like every day. So
Oh, but this
maybe
a
something to
big
start
book.
thinking about because, it's not going to have empty pages forever.
Oh, I know, but this book is special.
Special how?
Oh, because it was my friend's book.
I think he has revealed that information
He has.
before.
Yeah.
That it was
It was
the
a lot.
child Talen's book before.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah. Okay, who play next?
What? Oh wait.
So should we get going or?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's get going.
We can play on the road.
Sound good to me.
Thank you so much for
Thanks.
your hospitality, Artanis.
Thank you for your assistance yesterday,
Of course, you stay safe around here.
as to you all, and you know where to find me if you ever need me again.
Bet.
It was nice having company. I do appreciate you all stopping in.
Of course.
Hey, last question. Why didn't you kill us when we walked in?
You didn't seem threatening enough to do so.
That's fair.
And not many have. Well, some have attempted to come into the watchtower before, but none have been successful, and I was curious.
He's saying that you're a really good rogue, Nix.
Finally.
Yeah,
It only
finally.
took like what,
You all hear
100
that?
years or something?
No,
Oh, here,
I'm
what?
trained by the best. Okay,
What
Who
happened?
trained you?
I'm an incredible rogue.
Alar did, I'm pretty sure.
I am super stealthy, and nobody ever sees me.
Oh, but
And I
I'm
never
sure
set off traps.
I see you right now.
anymore.
I can't see you.
I'll cast invisibility,
Okay. Nyx just.
but I want to try and sleight
Disappears.
of hand it so they don't see me cast the spell.
Okay.
Cock. Ooh.
Okay, I mean, you guys know I could do that, but that is gonna be a 29.
So you guys are like,
My passive
You guys are-
perception is 18.
you guys are walking out of the door to the watchtower, and Nyx just strolls out the door, and as she does, she's like mid-stride, and she just disappears, gone.
And then I'll click my boots together and run around the room really quickly so that you can't really pinpoint where I am.
So you go back into the watchtower. And
Oh,
like,
look
Well,
at
just
all those
around that-
dust
just around
footsteps.
I'll stop moving. Okay. Anyways.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
Oh.
That's a 31.
Damn.
Even Nimue, who like, you kind of have an idea of what's going on, and you start looking to the ground for tracks, and you don't. There's none. You're like looking
Say
around.
a good rogue.
You hear from like 20 feet away, and a couple seconds later, like the other direction. Say it. Like,
We're being surrounded.
Oh my god.
Nyx is the BBEG. We've had this planned the whole time.
I can do this for another hour. I'm just saying.
From behind you.
Should we just go on?
Okay,
with
well,
our-
Yeah,
have
let's
fun.
just keep walking. I mean, she'll catch up.
All right. So I believe you guys are about a little, just barely under 2 days travel from Maythanor. And as you emerge from Set's watch, you emerge out into kind of a partially cloudy sky. It's still warm. There's still that like springtime, beginning of springtime air around, but cloudy enough that you don't have like the sun beating down on you as you travel throughout the day. Is there anything that you guys would like to do during your day's travel for this one?
I'm just gonna keep an eye out on like the road and make sure that there's no like danger.
Okay. Make your perception check.
I'm gonna guidance myself because I can. 24.
24? So you keep an eye out on the road, kind of paying attention to the way you're going, occasionally glancing back just to make sure that there's no one following. Throughout the day, as you glance back, kind of just looking in all directions, you do occasionally glimpse. Why did I just space on his name? Good lord.
Virgil.
Virgil.
Oh.
I was going to say Morai because that was my
Virgil.
owl in my campaign. Virgil, kind of gliding in between some of the trees and stopping. Tail, make a perception check as well.
Oh, yay. I'm bad at those. 1.
Okay.
Well, I wasn't lying.
Tail gets distracted. You guys are walking,
Let's
and
not
Tail's
use
like,
that die anymore.
like his attention span is like there's like a dragonfly, and he's like trying to catch it, and then he like finds a rock on the ground and picks it up, and he's like, "Ooh, a rock," and like starts looking at it, and then that bores him, and then there's a bird, and he's you're not.
Yeah.
You're very
Sounds
distracted
alright.
on this journey. Yeah. Anything else anyone would like to do as you're traveling?
I'll keep a lookout for plants along the way.
Okay. Make your investigation check.
13.
13. Nothing that you haven't come across before, just like native plant wise, but you don't come across anything that would be beneficial to your kit.
Cool.
All right. Is that everything for that then?
Yeah.
Okay. So you journey on throughout the day. nothing really goes on throughout this day's travel. And you can see as you finish this night's travels, the sun's setting ahead of you, probably, a quarter of a day's journey further into the road. The road goes into what looks to be the beginnings of another massive forest that borders the Giant Spine mountain range. And this would be where Maythanor is nestled in, essentially. And you set up your camp for the evening. Seven, I'm assuming, sending out his nature spirits to locate a good spot. Easily enough, you find one near kind of a babbling brook that starts to feed and go down kind of next to the road itself towards the forest. You set up camp, and your dome pops up. I'm assuming still red, green, and yellow.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
Not what that spell is meant for.
What?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
What did... Okay.
And the evening finds you. You can hear, getting closer to the forest and being near the brook itself, there's like the rhythmic tone of crickets chirping. You can hear the hoots of owls that are kind of swooping down, catching field mice and stuff in the area around you as you near this forest that seems to be teeming with life. You're good. Is there anything anyone would like to do while you are, set up camp for the evening?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Flicker out,
Okay.
and I'm gonna be like, okay. So I know I've just been grabbing all sorts of bugs, and you seem to like them. But is there one that is your favorite?
I'm assuming you cast Speak with
yeah.
Animals.
Is that a cantrip?
No, it's a
The
level
first
1
level
spell.
Level 1 spell.
Okay. I'm like, I should keep. Not that I've really used all my spells, but.
And I mean, for being a bat, there's not like this human intelligence, but you can understand like words that happen. And
Do you like crickets, or do you like? Which one do you like better, crickets or butterflies?
this is like an eye test.
Butterfly.
Number 1 or number 2?
Yeah.
And Flicker just kind of crickets.
Okay. I'm gonna collect as many crickets as I can so that Flicker can have a feast.
So you go gather crickets, and
No investigation check.
no, there's plenty of crickets around.
Are there though?
Yeah.
I just want to see how many she can find.
What's the exact number? How many crickets per hour?
All the crickets.
Crickets
As you're
per
kind
hour.
of walking around gathering, and Flicker's like in your pocket, kind of just like her little claws over the edge of it, just looking out. Like as you're walking, as you're going, you just hear, you see her head kind of look up, and she's fly.
Okay. Wait.
Fly away.
Okay,
hesitate.
I'll pull up. Well, I don't know if she's gonna take off. I'll pull out the little string and be like, "Is this okay? Do you need to? Where do you want to go?"
Like goes to fly, and like the string catches her and pulls her back, and she flutters and turns. Just fly. It's kind of excited, like bouncing around as she's flapping her wings.
Are we in a different part of the forest? Oh yeah, we keep moving. We're
You would
like,
assume so. Yeah, you're ways away from the Witherwood. This seems to be like a forest that borders the.
Okay, I'll take the string off.
Okay. You
Take my bat.
undo the. You undo the string, and she kind of, and like disappears a little ways into the darkness, and a moment later, kind of flutters back, and there's a, and she comes up
I
and does her little bat kiss on you, and then like goes and flies off. You continue gathering crickets, and there's still that like anxiety that sits in your stomach as you go back to the camp with a handful of. Are you keeping them alive? How are you doing this?
Yeah.
Just breaking their little necks as you catch them.
They're all in a jar with no holes in there.
Actually, yeah, I probably have some kind of container.
I'm sure you have something that you could use. So you
Use the health
gather.
potion.
You gather. Yeah, you could use a vial from a health potion. Whatever. You have something. You catch crickets and kind of go back to everybody, and it's
Sock.
It's not immediate, but a little ways or a little time after you spend kind of going back and getting situated for your evening's rest, the flicker kind of like flies in to the dome. She hits the outside of the dome because DeWitt didn't say she could come in.
Yeah, fuck Flicker.
Flies
kidding.
into the dome and like, she lands on your shoulder and like starts cleaning her wings.
Oh my god.
Because he speaks with animals just so he can bait you into freeing her.
That would have been so mean.
Hey,
rid of the
let me free.
animals.
Let me free.
Yeah. Is anyone else wishing to do anything for this evening's travel?
Hey, Nix, you want to do some more reading?
Of course.
11.
11. I'd say you can start rolling with advantage.
11.
All right. I mean, your pace is still moving forward. There are some days where things seem to click, and there's other days, and Nix, you notice this as you're teaching him, where he seems slightly distracted and doesn't pay full attention to the lessons, and he's still going about them and still, learning, but there's some days are better than others.
DeWitt, you should let me know when you guys are doing these lessons because I can help you, learn better with
Oh, hey, Nix, you want to do some reading? Not,
It's not like I was over sending messages to Lorenzo, so.
Oh. That makes
So
sense.
you have to
So
let
next
me know.
time I'll go find you when you're sending your love messages or whatever they are.
They're
and-
updates.
Since you brought it up, what were you guys talking about?
Just updating him on our travels, trying to see if he had any more information on
Okay.
some of the things that I've
Oh.
asked
How's
him
he
about.
doing?
Dating.
I assume he's fine.
You assume so?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's fine.
What is he wearing?
If I had to guess, probably his keeper armor.
Oh, that's cool.
And lizard legs.
Yeah.
That's attractive.
The tail.
Yeah.
I wonder where I can get my own keeper armor.
I thought he was gonna say keeper. Just my own.
I want
There's
to keep
plenty of
the
them.
keepers.
I almost wrote you guys all Valentines from NPCs. And I was
Why
like,
not?
because the only ones that would have actually made sense would have been Alar and Lorenzo, and then I was gonna have Valley write Tails, and then I was like, oh, I can't have Maureen write DeWitt one because we haven't even met her yet, and then I was like, I can't have Kaya's ex-fiance write her one, and Seven, I was just gonna be your brother.
Hey, fuck you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Worst Valentine's Day ever.
So I was like, nah, but I thought it was a fun idea for a moment.
Yeah, I'll let you know next time I'm reading, though.
Sounds good.
Cool, thanks.
Will you let us know next time you talk to Lorenzo?
Well, if I have the spell slots, I usually try to send him a message every night just to keep him updated on our travels. Okay. Cool. 7.
Insight check.
Yes.
I'm telling the truth.
I just have a question about the thing I showed you back at Barty's. So that whole thing I showed. Did you ever hear of your mother talk about doing something like that, or your siblings or anything?
Doing what exactly?
Experimenting on people to reach something else?
Actually, no.
Or using blood for magic or anything like that.
No, though I don't doubt it is for something. Knowing my family, it is probably for something. But
Well, yeah.
I have no idea what that might entail.
I mean, I know what it was for, but I don't know. Alright, thanks.
You're useless.
Thanks for nothing.
I'm sorry, I haven't had much contact with my family for quite some time.
Did you experiment on people too?
Almost 14 years.
I assume this is all in the hut.
The hot tub? Is that what you're gonna say?
The hut.
Oh, I thought you said the hot.
The hut.
I thought you said the hot. That wouldn't be that
Experiment.
You just have to move some of the
How?
And then I just put some
In like her
and
vision?
warm it up
No.
and It would be very
you
easy.
never have?
No.
Insight check. If he's telling the truth. Not great. 12.
Never have.
Dope. I actually trust that since you didn't roll deception.
Maybe that's the deception part.
Whoa.
My passive deception is higher than
You're playing D&D. I'm playing 4D chess.
I feel like I need to get your deception score and roll behind the screen when these happen so that it's more organic when you are actually being deceptive.
I mean, if you want to know it, it is.
Oh, you're good.
Where is deception?
Is it under charisma?
Charisma, right?
Yeah.
I have a +6 to it.
My deception's higher than you.
Thought so.
That's a lot.
I have a +8 to my insight, so.
I have a +7 in deception, which sucks because you always try to insight me.
Yeah, haha.
All right. So your evening closes without issue. Sleep finds you all a little bit more difficult this evening, having been in comfortable beds the evening before and then back out here on the floor.
Oh, I'm used to sleeping on the floor.
So Tail sleeps great. But nonetheless, sleep does find you. In the middle of the night, nothing happens today. Which, Seven, you have that like anxiety as sleep comes to you very slowly. Like the thought of falling asleep and having the same dream again almost stops you until you realize that you feel a lot better today. Better than the last in-game. What's it been? Probably like, I think it's been over a week or so.
Probably.
Yeah. And you eventually drift off. And upon the next morning, you can hear the birds in the trees kind of chirping. There are what sounds to be like some amphibians or like frogs that croak near the brook that you're camped by. But as your eyes open, Seven, you realize that nothing came to you in your sleep this evening, and take a little comfort in that, as do the rest of you who wake up well rested. And you continue your journey towards this forest that seems to be where the city of Mathanor would be housed. And you continue on, eventually reaching the edge of the forest, and as you kind of step through the threshold of trees, you walk in, and there's still a carved road that goes through here. But everything else is thick, dense forest trees. There's foliage and brush. You can hear the wildlife everywhere. You can hear the birds chirping. There's insects, like really heavy. It's not like jungle insects, but the trees almost look thick enough to be like a jungle dense area. You make your way through, traveling about half day in, like 3/4 of a day in. You eventually pull out your map, and you're looking at it, and it's like the city's supposed to be here, if not like visible. Like you would think you'd be hearing brush, trees, or people, or anything to signify a city that would be, the size that you would assume Mathanor to be. And you'll kind of stop, just unsure what to do. There's a rustle in the trees.
Russell?
A rustle in the bushes in front of you.
Wow, I'm everywhere.
A rustle in the sky. But from the trees and the bushes in front of you, there two figures kind of step out from the trees and kind of upright posture. Two humanoids start to walk towards you, and as they get closer, you can see two elven males, and they're in this like dulled golden intricate elven armor with almost these head plumes that come up and go back that are of these like exotic blue and green feathers. There's like white in the middle, like a white ribbon through the middle of them that comes down over the back of their helmets. And they approach, hands to their side on like sheathed swords, but not in like a threatening manner. And just kind of stop in front of you all and go, "Hail, might we ask what business you have in this forest?"
Oh, hey, brother. We just going to the giant spine, and we be looking for some supplies. In Maytanor. So, if
So you wish access to the city?
yes, if you know where that is, we seem kind of lost.
Well, to gain access, you will have to voluntarily submit yourselves to an effect, a magical aura that will make it so you cannot tell us a lie. And if we deem your intentions to be pure enough, you will be granted access to the city. And if not, you may continue on your way. We will do no harm to you.
Do we all have to do it, or is it just like one person has to do it? Or...
It will have to be all of you.
How personal are the questions you're asking?
We just wish to deem if you are any threat to the city itself.
Oh, that fair.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
I not hide anything.
Very well.
Lie.
He kind of
What are you hiding?
kind of turns and angles himself a couple degrees, and the other elf that was a couple steps behind him, steps forward and raises his hand and traces a couple of runes in the air in front of him.
Casting Zone of Truth.
Yes. And you can roll to save. They will
Oh yeah, they know.
no.
Yeah.
Or you can choose to.
I'll just choose to fail.
Accept. I
Okay.
accept.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
All right. So you do so, and the one who had been speaking steps forward again as the other one steps back, kind of folds his gauntlets, just watches. And one says, "Now, what business do you have in Maythanor?"
We're just looking to spend the night and gather some supplies before we head out to the Giant Spine Mountains.
He turns back, and the one just nods and says, "Very good. And are you bringing anything of contraband, anything that would be considered illegal within the city bounds?"
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know
I'm not
what-
sure what's on your list.
I'm not sure.
But
Do you have
we-
anything on your list?
We have
But
lots of cool
We don't really
things,
have
but
anything that would be illegal in any.
You all kind of like start mumbling to each other. Cacophony of voices.
Who the hell am I traveling with?
He turns and
We don't have any weed, sir.
Not
What we're
yet.
looking for.
do you have a warrant?
He looks back after this, very skeptical to the other man. The other man just says, "They seem to be genuinely telling the truth, that they are not intentionally bringing anything in illegally." The man nods and says, "That is, well, good, I guess. Now, do you have any acquaintances or know anybody within the city?"
Nope.
No, not really.
I don't.
think
None of us
so.
do, right?
No.
Would I know anybody?
Start naming
from-
off all your citizens.
Yeah, if you
And
could
maybe-
list them, we'll let you know if we recognize any names if you want to be thorough.
Anybody
Pulls out a
from-
scroll and it rolls out.
Do you have
was
any
gonna say-
Oh wait, yeah, I know Jared. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, we went to
went
high
to
school
Jared.
together.
Go way back.
Would I know anybody from like delegates or anything like that traveling through Barcelos or anything?
Make a history check.
Beep boop. Not good. 9.
A 9? You wouldn't know anybody by name. You know that there has been people who have stopped in from Maythanor, mostly because with a 9, I'd say, I mean, you lived there, you'd know a little bit of the history of your city, that the original elves that founded this city made port in Pharsalus when they had originally fled from Zentos and made their way in to establish this city. And that's about all you would really know.
Okay. I don't know anybody personally here, but there's been quite a few that have stopped through my hometown, Pharsalus.
He seems genuinely like surprised to see someone from Pharsalus in front of him. Turns to the other one, the one nods, says, "Well, it is wonderful to have someone from your esteemed city. Did not expect you this far into the wilds, but you are a welcome sight." kind of pauses and looks back at the other guy. Turns back and says, do you, any of you, possess any weapons, items, anything that might be considered dangerous, to your knowledge or not, that might be, how should I put this, an unintentional threat to not just this city, but anyone?
I mean,
What I know about my sword?
You would probably have a good idea at this point that something's...
not right.
I'll just be like, I think my sword does things, but I don't know. I can't get rid of it.
Turns to the other one. The other one nods and kind of steps forward and goes, I'm sorry, your sword?
Yeah, it makes me go crazy sometimes.
I'm not
Without me
quite
being
sure
in control or something.
May I?
Sure, here.
And he takes it.
Got rid of it.
Not how it works.
Pretty sure that's how it works.
Fuck you, guy.
I think if you throw it in a portal, though.
Yeah.
As you hold it out to him, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Now is not the time to fail.
All the fucking times, dude.
16.
16. Just one above. But as you go to hold it out to him, you feel this kind of like anger take hold of him, like asking for your sword, and that passes. But your hand like firmly grips around the hilt, and he goes to take it, and you're unwilling to let it go.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm not giving this to you.
Let the sword go.
May I? It would be just a moment. And he reaches into a satchel at his hip and pulls out a pearl and steps forward and kind of holds it to his head. And you may still hold it. And touches his hand to the sword, closes his eyes. And after a moment, he says, well, I can't glean what it is exactly that this weapon has done to you, but it is, cursed.
What?
Yes.
Fuck.
Unfortunately, simple magics would not suffice to rid yourself of this. Can anyone other than him explain to me what happens when he wields this weapon?
Has any of us really noticed anything different?
He's
attacked
literally
one of you
attacked
before.
him.
But I
No,
thought
that was with
That
that
was
was
under
under
possession.
possession.
Oh,
Yeah, he
I
was
thought it had
possessed.
happened with the sword because someone had accidentally. Okay.
No, he's only failed that
One
save
time,
once,
and that was yesterday.
It was recent. Yeah. So
right.
every other time that he's held it, no one has noticed anything.
And
Yeah.
he also was never close to anybody to attack them with
So
it.
the one
when
time he
did
failed it,
fail.
he was right behind the stone wall, couldn't get anywhere.
So none of you.
Right,
Have-
he was super normal.
No, I
this is
haven't
the first
really
I've heard
know
of this.
that.
Wait.
What's up?
Did you know you were cursed this whole time and you didn't tell us?
I have a spell to get rid of curses. Why didn't you let me know?
I didn't know I was cursed.
I must say, unfortunately, this, as I said, magics would not suffice to remove the curse from this weapon.
Can we
Or-
What's the
break
point
the
of the remove
sword?
curse spell then?
To remove
Then it would
curses.
defeat the point of cursed weapons because you could just boop and it's done.
exactly.
There is always a way to remove a curse, but it usually requires much more powerful arcane teachings or, well, retracing the curse's steps and removing it that way. But if you have no idea how this item came to be cursed or by who, well, I would have to say that your trail on that path is at its end.
Do you have cool magic people in the city that could get rid of the curse
There
for
are
him?
Plenty in the city, but again, we would have to know more about the curse to decide which arcane natures would be the best to remove it.
Tawit, what happened
Look,
when
we
We found
Why
it
did you need
in
to talk?
the spider person's cave
In the Underdark.
in the Underdark.
That was so long ago.
Yeah,
It was like a cave to like Lolth, wasn't it, or something?
yeah, where there was like Yuan Ti going through and stuff, and
There are
drow and
drow mixed with spider.
yeah, it was like a drow
Holy crap, that's
Strida.
something or something. I don't.
Drow spider, a Drida.
I,
Yeah.
can't say that I am familiar with any of these terms that you are speaking now,
Yeah, me either.
but alas, well, without knowing what this item does, I'm not sure that we can permit you access to the city.
Oh, David,
could we
what
go talk to
happens
somebody
when the
who would
curse
maybe know?
activate or something? What?
I get really angry, and I have to make wisdom saving throws.
I mean, do you know what causes it? Like what?
make you angry?
Why do you
When
get
someone tries to take it, or when I get hit sometimes, or when
Interesting. You
I
said
think-
when you get attacked by certain things.
try and hit me
No.
if you want to
probably don't
face
do that.
my wrath.
It could
I
punch
would
you.
prefer not to.
That's fair.
So maybe you just don't use it. Nobody tries to take it from you.
As long as nobody tries to hit you, you should
Yeah.
be fine then.
Do your citizens try to hit visitors a lot, or?
No, but if we were 100% sure that that was the nature of the curse, that would be a different story. But if there are other things that trigger, well, a killing spree, that's not something that would be deemed
Oh,
safe
but
within the city bounds.
Fortunately, David is not very good with swords, so
Yeah, he's kind of. That's not really his talent either.
I mean, there's a reason we didn't know about this. It's because he's not very good at it.
And he never.
He's
really
good at
uses
singing.
it.
Guys, I'm decent at sword fighting. I practiced a lot. I practiced a lot when I was younger. All right.
oh, I did not know that.
You're really
You're
good. You're really getting
so-
up there. But,
So
you know,
good.
singing is your forte. So, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. It is
Yeah.
more my forte, but I'm all right.
Yeah,
Is
you're
there,
all right.
Like somebody
You
that
have to
could go
tell the
talk
truth.
with-
No, look at him. I'm telling the truth, aren't I? He's a great sword fighter. I mean, he's just not the best.
I don't know him.
Well, you can tell
couldn't-
that I'm telling the truth, right? I'm not, by the way.
I know.
Well, he hasn't
Make a
killed any of
deception check.
us.
Even with under the zone of truth spell, you.
Oh, yeah, you
like
can't.
can't tell
Can't-
a lie.
you can't
No.
tell.
Oh, I actually can't. I thought he could
Yeah, you
just
literally
tell.
can't.
No.
No.
You can
Then
evade
I didn't
questions.
say any of that.
Yeah, that's why I was like, you have to tell the truth.
I've never been under zone of truth.
Yeah, you can like dodge questions and like be
Sorry.
vague and stuff, but you have to always tell the truth. You can't like say a lie.
Be silent too.
You're not the worst sword fighter I've ever seen. That's the best I can do, I guess.
That's fine.
You're pretty okay.
Well, he
Thanks.
hasn't hurt any of us, so
Well, the one time he was possessed by a ghost, but that ghost is no longer.
That was different.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
that was a whole
Gives
other
us
thing.
skeptical eyes.
I hate ghosts.
Someone make a persuasion check.
I'll
You
do
go
it.
ahead, do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tails got it.
17.
Okay. He
I've gotten a 20.
turns to the other man. The other elven man steps forward and says, "Well, if he hasn't hurt any of you, and you can assure me under this spell that you will keep an eye on any of these habits if they are to arise and stop them before they get any further. Now,
Oh, trust me, I will be the first one to hit him if he tries something.
Oh.
I promise to restrain him if that is the case.
now, were there any other items that are being brought in that could pose of any threat to
Well, I
anybody?
mean, we all hold weapons and like
I
as
mean,
protection. You know?
I have my little bat Flicker, and she is a beast with little wings. She's a big threat.
Kevin's a
I
girl?
think that the city will manage.
I
Well,
took
you
Good
asked
to
for
know.
threats,
I
and-
will make note of this.
I took a wooden handle from an evil whip, but it's just a handle now.
Right.
And I have
I
these
don't-
ball bearings. Those
Don't know
will
if
do a lot
it
of
does
damage.
cool thing.
All right.
I have a cloak that billows. That's pretty threatening. I look
you
pretty
say this, and the
evil.
cloak just.
I look pretty evil.
He turns up his eyes and looks back to the other man, and the other man's just. I believe that they will do just fine, and if anything happens, we
Wow, that was close.
will come to you first.
Look how convincing I am.
The the first man
I'm
kind of
spooky.
steps back and says, "Now, if you please, allow my associate here to, well, just hold still." And the man who had checked the sword kind of steps forward and steps up to you, DeWitt, and just touches a finger to your head for a moment, and goes to all of you and does the same to your forehead. And as he steps away, you kind of shake your head. It's almost like a bit of a vertigo and like disorientation for a second. And as you focus your eyes, you can see the path maybe 50 feet ahead of where you were continuing into the thick forest start to like take shape, a city that seemed to have been hidden from your view as you had approached.
Oh, that'd be so
What would
good.
if you just like walk through it without like being shown through the illusion? Would you like run into it, or would you just go right through it?
No. The path would have taken you around the city and away. You would have, at the very least, gotten lost.
How do you do that?
Well, it is a deterrent from undesirables entering the city.
Oh,
Hey, did you hear that? We're desirable.
oh, that's nice.
Welcome to Mathenor. It is a
tell
pleasure to
we're
have you. Please, be safe and well met.
Thanks.
Oh, nice to meet you
Yes.
too.
They
Thank you.
nod and kind of step back and just watch as you start to make your way into the city.
My cloak still billows.
As
Walking
you
now, so it's not as dramatic.
enter into this city that starts to materialize around you, you can see that there is a bit of a clearing from the thick trees that you had been passing through. There's still thick forest everywhere, and you can see the architecture is almost as if like the natural elements of the forest itself were somehow coaxed to reshape themselves into different structures. You can see like the bases of trees kind of stretched and formed into like houses. There are like tree houses and these walkways and stuff that stretch between the trees, and you can see people walking on these to different abodes within the trees themselves. There are little hovels, almost like hobbit houses, like little hills that have been like raised and grown and like have doors and stuff on them to enter in. And as you kind of come into the city itself, the terrain seems to, the elevation seems to divot a little bit, and you can see kind of as you're at the top of this decline, you can see a lake in the center, and on the lake is a bunch of other floating buildings that are connected with different walkways, and all of it seems to be like naturally grown houses or shaped of some sort. Yeah, welcome to Mathenor.
Are the guards still with us?
No,
So were you ever going to tell us about the things that you've been going through with the sword, or?
It just happened. I didn't think anything of it.
Oh, do you
I feel like I had
normally
to say something.
experience bouts of rage? Is that normal
No,
for you?
definitely not. Do you guys even know me?
Well, I mean, not that well. I mean, I feel like we know you pretty well, but
I
not-
know your name as Dawit.
we know.
You don't know that much about me? I feel like I've been pretty open.
But I mean, like, we've only been traveling together for a few months. 3 months, 4 months. How long?
it's probably been
2 years.
2 years. No, it's been like probably close to like the end of 3 months. It's like close to 4.
We've only been traveling together for like 3 months.
Yeah, but I've never been like angry at you guys or you know,
Then-
full of rage.
If you were like experiencing those things, why didn't you say anything? If
don't
it's not
know.
typical for you.
That's a good point. I don't know. I didn't think it was worth mentioning. Hey guys, I'm feeling mad right now.
Oh, right now.
Yeah, it's coming on.
happening?
Should be careful.
Insight check.
Yeah.
Make a deception check.
16.
A natural 16, so more
Oh.
than that.
Oh, he's telling the truth.
DeWitt's getting angry. 7.
Yeah.
We bet they're listening.
Oh, 7, he
All
can.
right. I'm knocking it out.
They immediately left the door.
Yeah.
We admittedly
I'll kill you all.
It's totally fine.
Oh, you know how to break anger. Then I go up to do it and hug him.
Okay.
Wow, Tail, it's working.
Oh, that's cool. See,
Great
it
work.
every
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So every time you feel
time
angry,
you
you just
get
need to go get a
Tail,
hug.
come hug me, and
I come
then
hug you.
so that's how you break the curse, probably.
Okay.
Hugging people.
I'll-
You just
Yeah.
try to
I'll
collect
keep-
hugs.
Maybe it's like
Yeah.
you need to get hug like 100 people and
I
then the
don't
curse is broken or
let
something.
But
go.
within
Or maybe it's
24
something dumb
hours.
like True Love's Kiss or something. Of that
Oh,
sort.
kiss him.
No, don't.
Yes, do it. It'll probably
No.
break the curse. Go ahead, Tail.
Oh, okay.
I don't think
I
it
guess.
That reminded me of that samurai game.
From fucking Pokemon.
Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
Pokemon Stadium.
God damn it.
Pincer.
Tenchu Z.
Tenchu Z.
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking of Pokemon
Yeah,
Stadium.
because they have that noise in that too.
Yeah. Where Cypher and Pinsir.
Pincer are like breaking logs.
Sorry.
It's okay. As you guys are making your way through the streets talking, you can see the city is predominantly elven. You don't see a lot of the occasional human, rarely. You don't see a lot of other racial diversity besides there are that don't look out of place. Like you'll see a couple other groups that are, maybe mixed races, but they seem to be dressed in traveling clothing as well. But the denizens of Methanor are mostly elven. You see a few gnomes that seem to exist within the city.
Regular gnomes.
They're forest gnomes.
Forest gnomes.
What kind of gnomes?
Forest gnomes. You can see them all with like different, like almost like flower crowns and twigs and things in their hair, and like just light, colorful clothing, and walking around. And most of the elves are very not elegantly dressed, but like really loose flowing robes, some muddled colors, like a variety of different colors. Nothing too flashy or fancy, nothing like golden embroidered, but just like elegant, like day wear robes, essentially. There are other city guard that make their way through the streets in the same kind of dulled golden armor with the plume of the feathers that come up and down the back. Some of them carrying like these similar to like the elven weapons in Lord of the Rings that are like a pole arm with a short sword at the end of it, essentially. Kind of like a regiment of those, or I guess I don't want to be a regiment.
Platoon?
No, that's even more, but like a squad of those, like six of them kind of march in a line of two
dance
lines of
troupe.
3 past you as you're making your way through the streets.
Do I see any of the forest gnomes that look like at least in the 100-year range?
Make a perception check.
Ooh, 21.
21. There's not a ton of gnomes that you see around. You just see a few of them as you're walking. A couple of them are younger, like children. A couple of them you see are older. We're not quite sure of their the exact age, but they are older,
Like middle age or more?
probably.
I want to go up to some older gnomes. Hey, give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. I want to go talk to some gnomes because, we all know each other.
Okay, Tail, stop trying to kiss me.
Oh, okay. I just continue hugging. Then
So you approach. You see 2 gnomes with like their arms locked, like a couple, a man and a woman, walking and smiling and conversing with each other, and 2 of the kids running in front of them, kind of like play fighting with each other. And as you approach, you can see wearing very similar, just loose-fitting day robes. Both of them have the woman has like a crown of wildflowers around her head, and the man has just this really feathery red hair that kind of comes back, not vibrant red, but just red hair that comes back and kind of like flays out over his back shoulders. And you approach, and they go, "Oh, hello."
Hi there. My name is Nyx the Nimble, and I'm new to the area. And I just, I haven't seen any gnomes in a while. I just wanted to come introduce myself and, just maybe make some new friends.
Well, it is quite well met, and they give you a bow. And what brings you here to Maethanor?
I'm just traveling through with a group of friends. We're going to the East Coast. I mean, it's true, right? It's not
We're going to Long Beach, baby.
Spring break 2020.
Miami, Florida.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to know some gnomes in the area. I haven't really seen any in a while.
Nix, it is quite nice to meet you. And the man gestures and says, "This is Fen, and I am Elwick. It is
Fen and Elwick?
yes, it is very lovely to make your acquaintance."
Elwick?
Fenwick?
Do those sound... what is your family name? Gnomes like to collect names. Mine is Nimble. What is yours?
Nix the nimble.
The nimblest nimble.
Well, I can't say we've ever heard of a Nimble family before, but we belong to the Greatfoot family.
Greatfoot. Have I heard of them?
They have
Make a history check.
That's their fetish.
Jesus Christ, I'm rolling so well tonight. A history check? That's a 19.
A 19. We've not heard the family name Greatfoot before.
Okay. Well, I think we are. Do you have an inn in this? Or is there an inn you would recommend in this town?
Well, there's only one inn within this town. It is the Hillside Inn, and you're welcome to stay there. But if you're not looking to, join that crowd, this city's prerogative is for you to. Most people will take you in if you are the sort of folk that seem, kind enough to accept such offerings. I would offer for you to stay with us, but with the two little ones, it's a bit cramped in
I would not
our
want
hovel.
to impose.
But you could always speak with some of the people at the High Council buildings within the lake. They may be able to place you with somebody if you don't wish to stay in the tavern.
Okay. Thank you so much for your help. I will probably be seeing you around.
Well, that sounds wonderful. It was very nice to meet you, Nix.
You too. Thank you.
And you both nod and follow after their children who, as you're talking, they had kind of just stopped maybe 15 feet away and were watching, and there's that moment where one pushes the other one and they're, "Hey!" And they just kind of get into a little tussle. And the two gnomes walk up after them and kind of scold them a little bit and chuckle and continue on their way.
Okay, I'll just go back to everybody.
Okay.
Are we near the lake, next to it at all?
You're heading towards it.
Okay.
The main path, the entrance into the city, is almost like a straight shot down to the lake, and everything seems to almost form a circle around the lake itself.
Okay.
So the main street goes down, and the streets, side streets and stuff, just kind of branch off of the main and circle around the lake in wide circles.
Concentric.
Yep.
Did you maybe find out where the inn was, Nix?
Oh yeah, well I don't know where it is, but it's called the Hillside Inn.
Oh. Is there any hills around here?
Make a perception.
It's completely flat.
Guidance. That's 21.
21. As you kind of glance around, being at this vantage point that you are, there's plenty of smaller hills, but just off to where would it be? The southeastern side of the lake, you can see a larger hill that rises up, and there's kind of a sore thumb that sticks out of what looks to be a man-made building at the base of this massive oak tree that comes up and is surrounded by other smaller trees.
I think that's the inn.
Oh, okay. Let us go there.
That looks like it.
I'm sorry, it's the Hilltop Inn, not Hillside.
I can't believe you've done this. Now I have to erase this.
Apologies. I apologize. apologize.
Let's maybe go check that out. We just need a place to stay for the night, right? And then we can get going in the morning.
Yep.
That's the plan.
'Cause
Yep.
I don't think we need any supplies.
Well, I just wanted to check and see if maybe I could find any diamonds while we're here, but other than that, I don't really need anything.
Well, why don't we go get set up at the inn, and then we can ask the barkeep.
Where
They
to
know a
find
place where to get. Yeah.
Right. I'd also like to go check out that lake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the people I was talking, whatever. There's a high council building in there, or something. I don't know. There's something in the lake. We should go,
Inside the lake?
or something. I don't know. Sounds fun.
I want to swim.
You want to race?
Oh,
Say
but
no.
I can't.
Say no.
I can't swim. But yes.
You don't know how to swim?
No, remember last
can't
time I
swim.
tried
You
to
almost
save
drowned
you,
when
and
you
I almost
had your
drowned.
mental breakdown.
Yeah.
And
I forgot about
I can't swim
That was
very
really
well.
You had to save you.
I'll save you, Nimue. Help!
Help me! Someone save me!
that is essentially the same.
I literally can't drown. And you're like, oh my God.
I need to help you. No,
I
you
can't
don't.
drown unless it's like quicksand or something. That would suck if that was the way I died. Write that down. Don't you dare.
Drown Nimue.
Quicksand. That would be quite ironic.
This mummy casts the spell called Quicksand.
Fuck you.
It only affects one square.
Yeah. Just me. Just
Brennan Fraser appears and saves you.
What do you think he's doing?
and I'd freak out. Save me.
Listening to our podcast.
So, are you all heading to the Hilltop Inn or to the
Hilltop.
First.
Okay.
Isn't that the name of a... That's the name of a bar in Colorado that we would go to all the time.
Sure.
I was like, that sounds familiar. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
You're just plagiarizing is all I'm trying to say.
Says the 20-year-old.
Isn't all of life plagiarism?
I went.
go to bars.
We would go there to watch the Packers games. Okay,
Backers,
guys?
eh?
Yeah,
Packers.
Packers. I just loved at Packers. I didn't drink. All right.
Wow. Anyway, so you all make your way through one of the outer concentric streets that loops around the lake to this hill. And as you get to the hill itself, you can see that there's like this really kind of cute cobbled stairway that leads up it with like wooden banisters that come up the side of it, and it kind of like angles its way up the hill. And there's little stretches of wildflowers that grow up the pathway the entire way up. And as you get to the top, you can see there is the bottom floor of this inn is like a man-made, like hand-built structure. Like this light sky blue painted wood, essentially, and like a thatched roof. And it is built into the base of this massive oak that goes up. And now that you're closer, you can see that up in the trees itself look to be the rooms of this inn, like built around, like shaped around the different branches and things. And there are walkways that connect it to the other trees in the area that look to appear to be more rooms within these branches. And you make your way into the front door that's like a circular, like hobbit door, not just a square double door or anything. It's just this circular door that is human sized. But you open it, walk inside, and are immediately greeted with like the concierge area. And you can see a lowered table, then and behind it two gnomish men with brown hair that are tied back in ponytails. They look like twins. One of them has kind of a freckled face and clean shaven, and the other one has like 5 o'clock shadowed scruff and like a pointed like beard that comes down, just like a little triangle facial stash, basically. And they turn as you walk in, and both of them look to each other and go, "Ha, well, hello there. What brings you into the Hilltop Inn?"
Looking for rooms.
"Well, you've come to the right place. My name is Grin, and this is Yart. We
Which
are
one's
the...
which?
Grin is the one that has the triangle beard. Says, we are the proprietors of this here shop, and it's lovely to have you all join us here. We've got plenty of rooms available.
I've never seen a tree like this. It's pretty cool.
It is
How
pretty
did you
cool.
do that?
We did not.
Oh. Okay, well,
The inn itself was commissioned by the High Council.
that's cool.
Yes.
Who's on the High Council?
Can't rightfully say I know all of their names, but elves.
All right. Do you two fine men run this establishment?
Well, she is correct. We will also
But I mean, they're males.
respond to males. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like,
She did.
like they're men, but like
Gentlemen.
but not like human. But I was saying like men as in
How do
like
you
they are
human
males.
It's all
go.
semantics, isn't
They
it?
are of the gender male, I assume.
We
Did I
do.
assume your gender?
Yes, but it is fine. We do run this establishment. It is ours. How many rooms were you all looking to purchase?
How many? Or how much are they for one night?
Oh, well. It's just going to run you about 2 gold apiece for each room.
How many you got available?
Oh, we have enough for all of you if you wish to have your own separate rooms.
Do you have super high gold room? What the coolest room?
I can check to see if we have one of the top ones available.
Ah.
And he pulls out this kind of large, sets it on like the table, this book, and flips it open and starts looking through. And well, we do have one of our executive suites available.
Oh, that-
It is going to run you 5 gold for that.
Okay,
room,
I
but it is at
slammed
the
down
very
5
top.
gold.
It is at the very top of the tree.
Cool. That part
Oh,
bad.
and he takes the 5 gold and puts it back. And
Is that just for you,
Slides.
Taylor? Or are you going to share with somebody?
Oh,
or-
did someone want to draw cam?
Well, I was
Oh.
thinking to save money, we could just bunk, boys and girls.
he slides you across this like metal, or not metal, a wooden like bracelet, like a band across the
Oh,
table.
cool.
This is your room key.
I grab it. Then I put it on. Okay, bye guys.
Enjoy your room.
Yeah, I will. What we doing tomorrow? What are we doing? Anything after here?
I'm going to be looking for a herbalist shop, but that's it. And I think we're going to the lake.
Oh, I want to go to lake too.
So we'll all go upstairs, get ready.
Put our makeup on,
Yeah.
our finest clothes, because for some reason you think that we need to be doing that.
Sure. I'll get a room with Dima.
Hell yeah.
Well, that can be arranged. We do have rooms with 2 beds in them. Just one for the 2 of you.
Sure.
All right, that'll be 2 gold.
Perfect. Here you go.
And slides you across 2 wooden bands.
Thanks. Here you go.
Perfect.
And are we doing separate rooms for the rest of you?
Nah, we'll just.
I'll get my own room.
Never mind. Me and Nimue will get our room.
Right,
All right,
right.
so that'll
Here's
be-
I'll do 1 gold.
Okay. Yeah, I'll match that.
Yeah, okay, perfect, great.
Takes it, not really understanding, but smiles and nods anyway, and slides you across 2 wooden bands and takes 2 gold from Kaya. It's the same.
Never giving that back.
So you will be a little bit spaced out. So you two's room is 3rd tree just off this path here, and he points back like further into the inn itself, and you can see behind them it is like an archway that opens up into the tavern area where there's tables and seats. There's a little bar and like a door that goes into a kitchen, but there are 2 hallways that extend, like, or not hallways, but like doorways that lead to stairwells that go up to the different
Oh,
trees.
shit, okay.
And you two's room is going to be within this tree. It'll be the 3rd level up, though.
Okay.
And, well, we have a complimentary breakfast that we serve in the morning. So,
Oh, that's great.
yes, if you're looking for
What's the price?
food.
Quick question while we're here. Do you know where an herbalist shop or a jeweler's shop is around here?
Well, we don't do much work in the city with gems. They're a bit hoity-toity natural stuff. So herbalists, I'm sure you can find many of. It's this city's a bit different than any of the cities you've been to. They don't have like shop names and things. They're not about that. There's usually like trade for goods or services or money if that's what you have. But you can easily find an herbalist. The one I usually go to for my teas that we supply here. If you go straight back down the hill, you make a left at the first ring, and it'll be 3 buildings in on your left.
Perfect.
Do
Thanks.
you know a place that can get rid of curses or enchantment?
I have no idea. Why would you ask such a question?
Oh, because I want enchanting done.
Oh, well, I'm sure in Elven City there's probably many fine enchanters, but I've never had need of one, so I've never looked. I apologize.
Okay.
Brother, do you? And the other one says, oh, no. Never had an enchantment done, no.
Oh, you should try them. They're cool.
Okay. The one just he's really quiet. Kind of seems like the dumber brother.
Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh. Are they forest gnomes too?
Yeah.
So where my room?
Oh, you're just at the top of the tree. You'll go up. It'll be the fifth level.
Oh, yeah. That's so cool. I
Just
feel
be
like
careful, okay? Don't hang out the
royalty.
windows. All right.
What windows? There are windows? How
Yes,
fancy.
there are windows.
Oh, that's.
We've already had one funeral for you, so
Oh, yeah. We can have more.
that was an inside joke. I'm just
Never can have
yeah.
too much of something.
You can have too much of a lot of things. Like you never want to drink too
He
much
looks
milk.
over at his brother, who's still just got
It'll
the same
kill
dumb
you.
smile on his face.
I have the same dumb smile on my face.
He kind of elbows his brother and he nods no. Like
Their names were Grin.
Grin and Yart.
Oh, Grin and Yart. Are you guys from these parts?
Oh no, we well nearby at least, but not from
really?
Mathenor
Where?
in general. Well, we grew up in the forests, just up past Flagos.
Would I know of that area?
Uh huh.
I would.
Yeah.
As it relates to a specific person. That is
Yeah.
forest gnome.
Mhm.
Mason.
What
You-
brings you down to these parts?
It's kind of that awkward moment. He just. Oh, well, entrepreneurial spirit. Mm-hmm. We found our way here, just venturing around, and had the opportunity to open the one and only inn within the city.
You know, are those Zermanthiums still up there? I haven't been up to that
Zermanthiums.
area in a while.
Zermanthiums. You know, I remember. I seem to recall the name, but I couldn't tell you. We haven't been up to the forest in quite some time. It's been how long's it been, brother? And he's still just like looking at you all with this
Brother.
dumb smile. And,
Brother, how long's it been?
oh well, it's been probably close to one. And he holds up one finger, and it's just grin. Just no. Hey, we've probably not been there for I'd say 50 or so years. Been here.
How can I open up cool inn like
But,
this?
Well, I couldn't tell you.
Oh,
It just kind of fell in our lap.
how can things fall into my lap like this?
Luck.
Right place at the right time.
You need to put more points into your luck skill.
Oh, okay. Thank
That's
you.
true. We gnomes are known for being lucky.
I thought that was halflings.
Yeah.
That's
I
what they
don't-
like to tell everybody.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize that was a sore subject for
Yeah.
gnomes.
It's okay. We don't need to talk about it. Anyway,
Wait, you mean you're not the same thing?
Roll for offense.
Offended.
yeah.
well, anyway,
not
we hope
offended.
you enjoy your rooms and your stay here. We have more work to do, upkeep and all.
Get the fuck out of our faces.
Okay, thank you so much.
Offending.
Right, Dima, let's go.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool, we go to our rooms.
All right.
And then we don't ever come out.
What
End of
time is it?
campaign.
Cool. At this point, it's probably hitting like later in the evening, close to sunset.
Then instead of going up to my room, I'm just gonna go right now and look for any information that I can find on like a jeweler or like somewhere that I could find diamonds or like spell components.
I mean, you were there when DeWitt asked, and they said explicitly that there's not really anybody who deals in like gems, diamonds, or like
Those
jewels
are like natural things though.
within
but,
this
like,
area.
Fine.
There's not like a storefront. You ask around, and it's not. There's most people are like, no, and you can see most of the elves. There's not like There's no jewels or like, necklaces or anything metal of that nature. It's all kind of natural wooden, that kind of thing.
Lame.
Like fine silks and stuff for their robes, but nothing jewel wise. So make your way to your respective rooms. Everybody but Tail. Your rooms are, well, and I guess Kaya, yours is going to look the same as theirs, but just have one bed, be a little bit smaller. But you go in and it's almost like a little den was carved out of the tree. The walls are the wood and kind of like nicely, they almost look like driftwood or not driftwood, petrified wood on the insides of the walls themselves. And the floor is kind of lined with like fur rugs and things, but you would assume they weren't like harvested, but probably taken from animals that had passed and used, to further use put use to all of the materials, essentially. The beds themselves look to be like almost tree stumps that are grown up out and then flattened. And there's a bed on there with like really nice silk sheets and things. Did you just hit yourself in the head or you get a brain freeze? Oh, Tail, your room is a lot bigger and there's like 4 windows, like circular, almost port windows on every side of it that you can look out and you can see over the entire city. You can see the sun start to set over the trees, like the purples and things start to kind of bleed through. And for a split second, as the sun sets, you can see almost like the shimmer of some type of like field around the city itself before that dissipates.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I sleep on the floor.
of course you do.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you? Your bed's like a really big, almost like king-sized circular stumped bed.
I put a valley right in the middle, then I sleep on the floor.
I say to Dima as we're about to leave, last one to the lobby has to lay a rotten egg, and then I'll dimension door down.
I don't even move.
It's like, do you lay an egg or?
Yeah, specifically a rotten one.
Very nice. All right. So you're going back down to the lobby?
Yeah, and I'll wait for friends till we go to the lake.
The sun has set at this point. Or like has just barely set. So it is like the throes of evening, nighttime.
Okay. I'd still like to go see it.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. On our way there, I'm going to pick up 3 nutshells because apparently I need that first spell. So
There's plenty of trees that are nut bearing. You find
great.
Is that spell for when you're in a nutshell?
In a nutshell, yes. But also it's for confusion, which I think is hilarious.
make sure that you get a sack for those nuts so that you don't lose them.
I do need a nut sack. You're right. I'll pick one of those up.
Time to nut up or shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you feel your nutsack and there's 3 in there?
I should probably get that checked out by
You should get that checked out.
Jesus Christ.
That was nuts.
Fucking group effort, you guys.
Oh, God.
Very nice. Anyway. Okay. So all of you go on this journey down to the lake?
Yeah, I want to go.
I'm definitely going.
All right. So you all exit out of the Hilltop Inn and meander your way down the trail to the edge of the lake. And as you're approaching, you can see now that the sun has started to set, you can see kind of the darker purple still lingering in the sky and that last little throes of light as it's just starting the darkness to take over. And as you start to near the lake, you can see little like globules of this blue, almost like cerulean color start to like almost bioluminescence within the lake itself as they just start to like these almost plant-like material like bacteria start to float to the top.
Like algae?
And algae, yeah, start to, which is different. You've heard of this, coastlines, the sea, the ocean, but in a lake, middle of the forest, definitely unique.
Is it natural, do I know, or was it
Make a nature check.
Here? Oh, fuck me, a nature check? Ugh, I'm going to guidance myself for that one. Ah. Okay, there it goes forever. Hopefully one of y'all steps on that.
Ouch.
Okay. Oh, that's not that bad. 18.
18. You would imagine that this had to have been created somehow, if not taken from another thing or like created somehow magically. It's not really normal for a lake to have like a bioluminescence like this.
Okay. Is it the lake water like really clear, or is it like
Yes.
muddied?
Very clear.
So
like
you can see like towards the
Crystal.
bottom? Is there anything on the bottom of the lake?
You can see fish, like aquatic creatures, like in the lake itself, swimming around.
I want to drink some of the glowing water.
No, that's bad for you.
I do it anyway.
Smacks it.
Tail
still
scoops
do
up
it.
some, smacks it out. His hand goes back.
Oh, this water tastes so good.
No, the algae. Don't drink algae.
Do you drink one of the algaes?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Tail picks up one, like
Those are
slurps it down, and
living
you can see this
creatures.
dull glow, like, and like kind of get stuck in his throat for a little bit, like slowly make its way down.
That is
this
so
dull blue.
Gross.
Oh, good luck.
I
There's
wondered.
just this dull glow.
now
in his
I
stomach.
glow
Oh wait, he's got his
forever.
armor on. You wouldn't see it.
Maybe now my blood will glow. Or maybe everything will glow now.
No, you're just going to get sick.
Maybe not if I eat enough then.
No,
if I
no,
eat
yeah.
enough,
That's
then I
how it
will
works.
glow.
You should keep having sex.
Algae
If you just eat
is
enough,
not
you will
good for
become
you.
one with the algae.
Oh, algae sounds
Yeah,
cool.
that's what the
You know, there's
a
some
king
types
would
of
do.
algae that will take over your mind and brainwash you, and then you'll be a zombie with your body being
That
controlled
wouldn't
by
work
algae.
on the king of the kobolds.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Just kidding.
And you know,
That's not even something that happens.
that's
I'm
the
making
least
fingers
of
were
my
crossed.
worries when it comes to possession. And I drink another.
No, I use shape water to make him stop.
You grab one and go to put it in your mouth, and it like flings out of your hand away.
Anytime he tries
fine.
to touch the water, I just move it away from him.
Fine, I'll stop now. Then I get up. Then I subtle spell mage hand when as I'm walking away to pick up some water.
Tail goes to walk away. Make perception. Well, no, you're passive perception. You just see this little ghostly hand pick up water and start to float towards Tail.
All right, and I continue walking. I don't acknowledge it.
He's trying
It's
to
their
so
relationship in real life.
hard. Just stop it.
Anyway,
Anyways, but is there like anything like on the bottom of the lake that I can see? Like anything that people have like thrown down there or anything like that?
Make a perception check. It's pretty deep.
Guidance. Oh.
The bioluminescence gives you some light, as it's not just
19.
on the surface. There's like elements of it just floating around in the water itself. It almost looks like a starscape within the lake
Oh
itself.
shit, that's cool as fuck.
Like the fish swimming around it. It's kind of a surreal look. A 19.
Yeah.
You can't really make out anything that looks thrown into the lake itself. Like the ground looks like there's stones, there's rocks, but nothing with a 19 looks out of the ordinary.
Does it seem like people would get offended if I jumped into the lake?
I don't know.
I don't know. Try and see.
I just don't want to get yelled at or like
Do you want
kicked out
to
of
be
the city.
invisible?
Yeah, do you want to
That,
be
oh
invisible?
yeah.
There you go.
Oh, great.
I'll
Perfect.
tell you if I'm offended or not.
Invisible.
Great.
Okay.
I'll jump into the lake and look
I'll
down
cast
there.
silence so it doesn't make a sound.
Well,
Splish splash.
I'm like super dexterous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with your chainmail on or your plate mail on.
I'm not even wearing plate
So
mail. I'm
they're-
wearing the mithril armor.
Nimue kind of like disappears, and then all around you, you can hear like the ambient sound of the water just kind of like washing up on the shore, birds and things around, and all of a sudden it's just quiet, complete silence. There's like a splash in the water, but you don't hear it. You don't see anything.
I take the silence away after I see this.
Okay. Slowly the sounds start to come back. You can see the ripples kind of push some of the bioluminescence float
Great.
away from
If
the
I'm ever in
ripples.
danger, nobody will know.
Just cast message, right?
Can I talk underwater? You can breathe it, so I assume so.
If you can breathe it, you should be able to.
If you can breathe it, you can
Probably.
believe it.
That's true.
Make a perception check as you start to swim down.
Great. Guidance again, because I'm so good. Oh wait, no, I don't do that because it'll get rid of invisibility. I don't cast guidance. So
Look at you.
Waiting.
hell
Darn.
yeah. 23.
A 23.
Yeah.
You start swimming down and scanning along the bottom.
Are there any diamonds?
There,
Just
no.
kidding.
There doesn't seem to be anything thrown into the lake. Like nothing
It
of
seems like absurdly clean.
yeah. And as you kind of look up and glance around, you can see over on one like towards the edge are a couple of what look to be like hovels or homes under the water. And one of them, a door opens, and you see a humanoid elven figure swim out and just swim out, not towards you, but swim out a little ways, and followed by a couple of smaller like children who follow out, and they seem to be just playing around in the water.
Do they look like they're breathing it?
With that perception check, you can see they do seem to have almost like gills on the sides.
Huh. That's really weird. Okay, I'll swim back out. Meet back up with the group.
Okay.
There's people that live down there.
What?
Yeah, there's like elves down there with like gills.
Did you say hello?
Hanging out. No.
Wow.
I didn't want to freak them out. I was invisible. I'm still invisible.
Oh, I never met
yeah.
the thing that can breathe water before. Not like
I
you.
breathe water.
Oh, I meant other things. Like,
Fish breathe water.
oh, I don't know any fish.
There's one right there.
What's his name?
I think that
Leonard?
Nyx knows how to talk to the fish.
I can do that too. I didn't think so. You want to know its name?
Yeah.
Let me find out. And I'll cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Hi, little fish. What is your name? What should I call you?
The fish kind of like swimming around, and like it does this like weird tail flip and kind of turns both ways, and then the head angles up, and you can see it kind of surface a little bit in the mouth, doing the like bobbing as it sticks its head up out of the water. Just bob.
His name is Bob.
Oh. Okay. Now I know a fish that can breathe and swim.
Right, exactly.
Maybe you should write his name in your friend book.
Oh,
was
but
just
we
about
are
to
not
suggest
friends yet.
Well, why don't you share a secret with him and then you can become friends?
Oh, is that how that works?
I'm pretty sure we've been over this.
Is that how it works?
That's how it worked for 7.
Maybe another time.
Yeah. All right. Bob seems busy.
Yeah, he's little busy swimming.
Yeah.
Just keep swimming. Just keep.
Anyway, have anyone ever met elves that can breathe underwater?
No.
Probably some kind
I
of
thought
magic.
that was kind of just like a.
Oh,
Like
I
you had to
guess
be a
you're not
specific-
so special.
Well, that's not what I was. I mean, we're not the same race. I didn't think. There's like spells that can make you breathe underwater, but I've never seen elves with gills.
Make a history check.
Guidance.
Any one of us or just Nimue?
7.
Nimue.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, why do I roll so garbage when I want to know things? Okay.
So what business do we have here now?
Well, I really just wanted to see the lake and see if there was anything cool about it, but
yeah.
it's not really. Anyways, we can go now. I'm sorry for bringing you all.
oh,
No, it's
it
okay.
was
Let's go
fun
to the herbalist
experience.
shop.
We can come back
yeah,
tomorrow
Yeah.
because I do want to talk to the High Council. That's probably who that was.
Maybe, but what
Is there like a building around here that looks like it would
There's
be?
the buildings are floating in the middle of the lake. There's like a whole string of them connected with different walkways in the middle of the lake, floating.
Why do we need to talk to them?
What do we need
Well, they
from
run
them?
the city. I don't know.
Oh,
If you want to.
Did you have questions that you wanted to ask them?
Well, you know, it's always good to hear about what's going on in the area. I don't think we need to do it now. I mean, wait, is it like super late or is it just getting dark?
The sun's set, so it's late. Like not late, but like evening.
Or the high council's
nighttime.
hours.
Nine to 5, Monday through Friday.
Close Sundays.
Does it look like there are lights coming
Those
from
weekends
those buildings?
and Friday.
Yeah, there are lights.
I mean, if you guys don't want to, then that's fine. But we're not super familiar with what has been going on here. I just always think it's useful
Okay,
to talk to people in
Should
charge.
we do that in the morning then? It's getting kind of late. Probably not available.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
All right. So you guys make your way back to your rooms.
I go to the
Hop in.
herbalist shop before,
Okay.
if it's still
Um,
open.
Yeah, you make your way to the building that you were directed to, and you walk in the door and can see there's a couple candles lit, but then there's also like globules of light that are just like very slowly drifting around the room on the edges. And there's an elven woman with really fine, smooth facial features, kind of a square jawline, really like straight platinum hair that falls down to about her mid back, tied behind her head, and in this just really loose fitted like white silk robe. She turns to you as you walk in and says, yes, is there something I can do for you? I was just getting the shop ready to close.
Oh, sorry. Can I buy some things from you real quick?
If I can be of assistance, I would love to. What is it that I can help you find?
I'm looking for some spellbane. If you have some.
I can check my stock. Was there any other plants you were looking for?
Sorry. Do you have some blood spine?
I can check that as well.
Perfect. That's all I'm looking for right now.
All right.
Thank you.
She kind of goes back, and you can see the front of the shop is like there are different flower beds and things where herbs are growing, and the back is almost like a dried herb. There's different large glass jars lining the walls. She's kind of going through those. And she comes back, or she not comes back. She kind of calls over her shoulder and says, "I do happen to have a couple of spellbane in stock at the moment. Would you like to purchase a full plant or just some leaves? I have 2 plants available.
How much will 2 plants give me?
Well, each plant runs 100 gold apiece.
Do I know how many leaves I need to make one spellbane thing?
It should say.
It just says spellbane.
It doesn't say how many leaves you require. No. Well, it would be a leaf, I would assume. So I can sell you just a single leaf for 25 gold apiece. And what was the other you were looking for?
I said blood spine, but I'll change it to Grimflower if you have that.
I can check. Grimflower. And she comes through and says, I have plenty of Grimflower in stock. How much would you like?
How much are they?
That runs 1 silver for a flower.
I'll take freaking 10.
All right, a gold piece. And were you looking to buy some of the spellbane?
Yeah, I'll take 2.
2 leaves.
Leaves,
All right,
yeah.
that will be 50 gold.
How many mana potions can you make at this point? Because we picked up some stuff from Barty's too.
Depends on how many ingredients they need.
You need like one of each of the kinds, but I don't remember where I took those notes, so I have to look for it.
So right now, 1.
All right, so she takes your coin and kind of takes the herbs and wraps them in a nice like silk pouch almost and hands them to you.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. Please do come back if you require any other herbal needs.
I will. And then I'll walk out.
Okay. All right.
So,
Room.
mana potions need Grimflower, Iceflower, Light of Mistra, and Helmthorn.
Yeah, I have one. I have at least one of all of those.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys make your way back. Oh,
Do I see any taverns?
you're in the only one.
There's no.
You can go looking for others if you would like.
I mean, the only one. I'm gonna look for more.
Where are you
So
hiding
you
them?
settle in for the evening, and we will take our break there for the night. And we will be right back. And we're back. I think it turned on. Yeah, we'll say it turned on. It's fine.
I'm turned
Woo?
on.
Oh.
You should look at your hair. I'm turned on.
You don't like my locks?
They're just
My trees?
Oh, is my hair out?
Hello? All right. So, we left off with all of you heading back to your respective little treehouse rooms to
I'm living in this one.
to take a long rest. So, a good night's sleep finds you again,
Man, good thing they can't see us.
Yeah, seriously.
and you wake up the next morning well rested.
This vision would haunt everybody's
So.
dreams.
The day is yours in the elven city of Mathanor. What would you like to do?
Oh, I want some of that complimentary breakfast, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
dude.
easy
Let's
enough.
get some of that continental brekkie, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Can we crush some Sandos?
After Pracky.
All right. So you head down to the tavern area after Pracky. And there's not a lot of people staying in this inn at the moment. But heading down to that tavern area, there are a few people. There's a couple humans, a few elves in the area, and two dwarves that are sitting at a table kind of in the corner by themselves. And there's like a bar table, almost like buffet style, where there are like dishes put out of different like eggs, like potatoes, meats, things like that. Very simple, like some bread,
Continental
butter.
breakfast.
Raisin bran.
Yeah.
Is there oatmeal?
Yeah,
Frosted mini weeds.
for sure.
Frosted mini weeds. Fruit Loops.
Yak milk.
Try everything.
Just grab a plate and scoop. Yeah, all right. So you all eat your complimentary breakfast.
Does it seem like there's a lot of travelers that come through the city? Like, have we seen a lot?
You haven't seen a lot, no?
Okay, so it's not very like a big tourist destination, or like not a lot of people coming in and out of here. Because it's not really on the way to anything, is it?
No?
Okay.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna try and wrap up breakfast and then run up to my room real quick and then.
Okay.
That wasn't highly suspect at all.
Hey guys, I need to go powder my nose. I'll be right back.
What?
Yep, I'm gone.
Is that what the kids call it nowadays?
I'm going to disguise self once I get away from people.
Uh-huh.
As
Yeah, I'm 14.
an older male forest gnome.
Uh-huh.
Can you give me an idea of what he talks like so I can try to mimic it?
I mean, it's kind of a deeper,
Oh, great.
Hell yeah.
not deeper, but lower tone, like to the voice. Not like monotone, but not a lot of like inflection to the tone. I don't know.
Just
My name's Grin.
Oh, it's just kind
like
of
this. Is
like
a little,
this.
like this,
Yeah.
like this.
That would be
That would be
Close to how you
close
talk,
to how
yeah.
he talks. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go downstairs. This is so dumb. Why did I do this? I'm gonna go up to the desk and just kind of like look around, like I'm looking to get a room.
Mhm.
Are Grin and Yart there?
Grin is.
Grin.
Yes, hello there.
You look.
Mickey, no.
Mickey Mouse, are you? Is that you?
Redacted.
What is Crit Seekers? Do we own that yet?
No, yet, sir.
I don't know how to do it. I already forgot what you said.
My name is Green. Sometimes I talk like this.
But that's a.
Oh, sometimes I talk like this.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk. Excuse me. Oh, you look really familiar, sir. Well, I don't fucking know how to do this. You look
that-
really.
Fenthwick, is that you?
Grin. Ah! I can't do it. I already regret this. Why did I do this? Get through the scene.
Ah, the old so-and-so. It's,
It's been 50 years.
it's been more than that, I think. I, haven't seen you in quite some time. What are you doing here?
I'm just passing through the area.
Doing what, might I ask? You were, well, you kind of disappeared, last time we saw you.
Yeah, where was that?
Well, back home? Was... That had to be, had to be close to, oh... I had to be close to 150 years ago or something like that.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Something all right. You seem...
No. Nothing's all right.
I can't do this.
You seem like maybe something... Do we
Do you
need
want us to turn around, or would
Do you
that
need
help?
me to get some water or something?
Yeah, that would be great.
Oh, all right.
I leave. I can't do this. I can't do it.
What a great way to start intermission.
Well, now that I know you was, yeah.
I'm gonna delete
I'm gonna
that
drop
part.
disguise and stay in my room for a second, and then leave eventually.
I leave the Taelented Seven and I go back.
I start a new life.
Quit the whole campaign.
That's my exit. That's how Nick's leave.
Fuck my daughter. Fuck Alard.
I should have thought that one through a little more. Okay.
That is so funny.
I get to my room, cast disguise off, dude.
I didn't think that. I'm so sorry, everybody.
I
it
go
was
try to
hilarious.
convince him
No, that
I'm
was great.
Fenthrick as myself.
Okay.
I'm really sorry. I did not have a plan there.
Anyway.
It's okay. It was
I'm
fucking
crying.
hilarious.
Okay,
to watch
so
you
what-
try to do that?
I can't do it.
So what do we want to be doing here?
Well, Nick sounded like she wanted to go talk to the High Council here,
Where
but she's
the
kind
fuck
of
is she?
Nix comes back down a
Bartholomew.
little bit later, like cheeks all flushed, and
Is everything okay? Did you have something?
I thought you were powdering your nose.
Well, she
not
did.
Redding your
Does that mean doing
face.
drugs?
Well,
Oh.
oh.
God says no.
Any of you any drugs?
Wait, you mean the mushrooms that I had from
Zyrax.
forever
I
ago
was like, yeah, I
aren't?
do have 3 mushrooms.
I don't
have
know. You
mushrooms.
oh wait, you did try
Mushrooms
them. You
too.
found out they were just mushrooms.
They were just mushrooms. I still have them.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Last campaign, though.
Yeah, I made that mistake once.
So do you guys want to go to the lake?
To do what?
I don't know.
To
We
go
just talked
say
about
hi to High Council.
If you guys don't want to go, we don't have to.
I don't think we have any business here.
Yeah, I thought we just wanted to get over to the Giant Spine Mountains and go find.
Yeah, let's go talk to
Bartholomew.
Barty.
Okay.
Okay, let
Cool.
us.
I mean, this is a really cool
Leave.
city, but we're like
Yeah, we can stop back here on the way.
on the way back. Right, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we leave.
Yeah, leaving.
So you go to walk out the main door, see Grin standing there at the concierge counter, looking kind of confused, holding a glass of water.
Oh, is that for me?
Well, it was for someone else, but he well, disappeared on
Oh,
me.
thank you.
You all wouldn't happen to have seen another older, elderly gnomish man.
No.
You asked me yesterday about a name, and I hadn't remembered it, but then I saw Fenthwick.
Oh, you do remember
Yes,
him?
Zermanthium. He was just
Oh.
here.
No way.
Did you know him?
Damn it.
You brought up the name. I figured you might know. He was. I've been
I've
looking.
been
He didn't
looking
look
for
like he was
him.
okay. I think he might need some help.
Oh,
He kind of.
maybe we can send a message to him and see if he's okay.
Well, that would be wonderful. Can you do that?
Well, it takes some time to prepare, but I can let you know.
Fucking awful. Oh well. If that's that. I mean, he seemed maybe like he needed a little bit of assistance now, but
Okay, I'll.
I you know.
Do you know this woman? Do you want us to go track him down?
I think I'll
who
have
is
my
this-
brother go look around for him.
we'll
He
go look
seemed
for him.
maybe
Who
like
is
he
this
was
person?
not okay.
Shot yourself in the foot, eh?
You
What
know,
does he look like?
well, he looks like Do I have that? Do I have what he looks like? I don't even have what he looks like. I don't think you did that. No, you didn't. Yes, you did.
Double check.
You definitely did. Because he's.
I hate myself right now.
So should we go look for this gnomish gentleman, or
Well, I can.
Yeah.
I can definitely. Yart! He kind of screams, and a moment later, his brother comes out and goes, "Oh, what's up?" He just stands there with a stupid smile on his face. He goes, Yart, do you remember Fenthwick Zermanthium? He an old gnomish fellow from back home. And Yart just kind of. No, I don't remember him. Goes, would you just go look through the rooms and, the hallways, the trees, see if you can find anyone an old gnomish fellow? And Yart just nods. He goes, now, please, Yart. He goes, oh, yeah, okay. He turns and makes his way back up, like the little stairway carved in, heading up to the upper levels. Grin turns around and says, well, he's on it. If you run across him while you're out and about in the city, just make sure he's okay.
Oh, of
All
course.
right, we'll do. We're about to head out of the town, though.
Oh.
We need to return our room keys.
Yes.
Here you go.
Yeah, we'll
Do
head
you have
Takes all the
one that's
rings.
not a key, but just a gold bracelet for memory's sake? Can I
Do you have a
keep
gift
one?
shop?
I didn't make the rings. They were made by the elves. So I don't
Oh, can I have one?
I'm gonna have to say no.
Oh, you should include one in the executive package.
I'll keep that in mind.
Was there
You're
anything that you
welcome.
stole in the executive suite? Like any little shampoos or?
Still lost soap. So I can eat it later.
Just trying to murder your digester, aren't you?
It's elf soap. It's natural. It's all natural.
It's made out of algae.
Well, safe travels to you all. It was wonderful to meet you.
Yes, very nice to meet
You
you,
too.
as well.
Bye.
We'll dip out.
Okay.
Head out of the city. Do we need to go find that man, Nix?
Who
The
is
man that you knew?
person?
He seemed really concerned about him.
I mean, have you met those two though? Okay, you know what? I will stop. This. I just thought that he said he's from where I am from back home, and I thought he might know somebody, but he didn't. Well, he did, but he lied about it. Also, I'm bad at pretending to be somebody else. It turns out. So.
Oh, I see.
I won't do that again. I
Yeah.
learned a
Nix,
lesson.
you don't have to pretend to be anyone else.
Well,
We
I asked
accept
him,
you
be
for who
yourself.
you are.
Okay. means a lot coming from you, Tail.
Oh, you are so welcome. Everyone look like they need help nowadays.
Yeah. You definitely just.
Well, I think we're
Nobody
good here.
feels weird being around you, sweetheart. With your hair like that.
Are we ready to go?
I think so.
All right. Onward.
All right. So you make your way out the other end of Methanor. There isn't a road that continues on through the back end of this forest. So it is all just wild terrain from this point on, leading up to the base of the Giant Spine Mountains itself.
Oh shit! I didn't switch out my spells.
For it's going to be about a day and a half journey, relatively, to the base of the actual mountain range, like the very edge of it. So I wouldn't say it's too hard to find points where you see the mountain range looming off in the distance, so you don't kind of get turned around in the forest itself.
On the map that we have, does it show like an indicator of like where to start in a way? Or like what part?
Yeah, it does, and you're heading straight forward.
Okay, cool. Just make sure.
Yeah. The yeah. So the travel will take about a day and a half to get through this kind of forested area. Is there anything you would like to do for this little bit of the travel?
I was gonna cast divination real quick. It's an action. And I wanted to see if Artanis would be in any danger within the next 7 days.
Okay.
It's spell card. It says so. Your magic and an offering put you in contact with a god or a god servant. You ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days.
I've got it right here.
Or like, if it makes it easier, will Artanis die in the next 7 days? Because of the portal there, and because we left.
Okay. So you take a moment in your travels to kind of center yourself and focus inward and focus on that connection to Varuna. You close your eyes and tune out everything around you, but still at the same time open your senses and your interpretation up to any signs that may come your way. And there, as you're walking, you feel almost like the weight of a hand on your shoulder. And as you kind of reach your hand up with your eyes closed, you feel kind of a warmth spread throughout you, kind of signifying that there's no at the
danger.
moment, no path of him dying in the next 7 days.
Cool. All right, that's all I wanted to do on this trip.
Okay.
What about us?
You're gonna die next time.
I don't think that the DM could tell us that. I
Yeah.
think that's more up to you guys.
I'll look for some more plants along the way.
Okay.
11.
Meant
Probably
to do that
nothing.
before we left his house, and then I forgot. What can you do?
Be better.
I'm trying. It's 8 p.m. and I'm very tired.
Yeah, the trees are like really the foliage is thick. The ground cover, there's lots of just like brush and vines. It's really hard to pick out individual herbs or plants as you're going. Just kind of looking as you're traveling, you don't come across anything.
Cool. That's it for me.
Okay. Nobody else anything?
No.
Okay. So you get
I
to
mean,
that.
can I just tune to my
Yeah.
bow.
I figured you had already done
Yeah.
so.
I just wanted to at least make it
Yeah,
said.
definitely.
Yes.
So you continue on, make a camp for the evening, staying in the dome. Nothing really disturbs you. There's a few animals and wildlife that like come near the dome to investigate, but I mean nothing more than like deer or raccoons that like see the movement inside and startle and immediately scatter away. But nothing other than that. This forest seems pretty tranquil. Throughout your travel, you do pass a couple, like, I wouldn't say scouting parties, but more like gathering or hunting parties of elves that are out that acknowledge you as you travel by and just give nods. And the same, a lot less armored, but same like colored gold armor with like feathered plumes. Make them a little bit more mobile and agile in the forest. But other than that, your travel that day goes by relatively unscathed. Sure, that's a good word.
Unhindered.
And then, is there anything for the evening anyone wishes to do? Okay.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. I want to leave the dome, and just walk, like, distance away. Like, I'm still, like, visible to them, but just by myself, to the group.
Okay.
Visible to the group, but by myself. And I am going to, take out a stick of incense and light it and sit and meditate. And pray to Paylor.
Mhm.
First time I've ever done this since before my thing happened.
Mhm.
But I'm just going to ask him to keep me safe as well as my new acquaintances in the upcoming journey we have, and just ask for any like guidance or anything like that.
Okay. Roll D100s for me.
These are fun. Roll 100, please. Roll 100.
Usually roll really low on these.
Ooh, 95.
Holy
My God.
Jesus.
Oh.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's close to 100.
I don't know at least that math that well.
Not
but
good at math.
That's close.
As you're within your meditation, there are moments where you feel your consciousness drift and you start to like transfix on a separate thought, and you push that out of your head, let it kind of drift down away from your focused thought. And the more that you focus on this connection with Paylor and this prayer, this almost verbal offering that you put out there for him, the more deeper you sink into this meditation. And as you sink further into yourself, you start to feel this like internal warmth, and your eyes start to almost feel like if you take a nap on a sunny day and like the clouds move apart and you can feel and almost see the orange of the sunlight through your eyelids, kind of feel that brightness. You start to have that sensation. And as you open your eyes, you're not in the forest.
Oh.
You can tell it's not your physical body. You can feel your consciousness almost pulled forth. And you don't see a figure, but there's almost this warm, comforting light all around you. And what appears to you to be almost like wisps of clouds and things around you. And you almost float there in that comfortable space for a minute. And then there is a voice, a familiar voice that you've heard once before when you were almost brought into this realm, having perished in the conflict with the Mummy Lord. You hear Paylor's voice kind of there's no source, it's sourceless, and it kind of echoes around the area that you're in. And it just says, "You are watched over, child. Continue on this path. look to and protect those around you. They will be your strength and will lead you back on the path that you should be on. You know now that there were reasons that you were brought back here and placed under my guidance. Know that I am watching, and I am hopeful. And that warmth in your chest you feel again kind of spread and radiate through your limbs. And you close your eyes in this space and kind of feel yourself smile with the warmth around you. And as your consciousness comes back to the forest around you and you slowly start to hear the birds, animals, wildlife, your eyes open. Another singular white feather drifts slowly and lands on the ground in front of you.
It's the same feather.
Keep that shit. Jesus.
Well, yeah, of course.
Throw it into the forest.
Just leave it. Here's
Put it up for
seven,
sale.
Probably diseased.
Okay.
Likewise.
Yeah, I'll pick up the feather and just sit there a little longer, kind of contemplate events, all the events that have happened, and like talking with Paylor.
Okay.
And then just head back to the group.
Okay.
Eventually, you'll have enough feathers to make a nice pillow.
Angel down. When you pick up the feather, it does still have like a bit of warmth to the touch as you pick it up. It kind of passes into your hand and kind of reminds you of that comforting place.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Do you know how to make those mana potions? Should
Nope.
we like make some of them?
I don't. Nope.
Right, so we just have to send
That's an
her
enchanter thing.
Back. Right.
So
we have to send them back
Yeah.
to that chick
Mhm. somehow.
in at the gates of. Didn't we hire some? But no, we just told her that we just send them.
We'd
back.
send them back somehow.
We'd send them back to her with like a bunch of gold. That
Uh-huh.
was what it was.
Yep,
Right,
that's
okay.
what we
And we're no longer in
mid-cross.
or place with which to send.
No, not really.
Oh, maybe
gonna send-
giant spine has mail.
So, with the ingredients to that roguish figure that
The-
was
the
kind of
chick-
flirty with you.
Her
That's
name was,
bit.
Yeah. She was, yeah.
she was
Definitely your type.
No.
She had the glass paned window.
Nope.
No?
Inside check.
Her name was Cinna.
There you go.
She was the halfling woman.
Her name was
Here.
Cinna. All right. I remember
Sorry.
these things clearly.
It's probably because I can't write them down or something.
You know, that might be like if you could write things down, maybe you would like remember.
I'm
it
learning.
better. Right.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Are you going to do more reading tonight? I could.
I
have a
was
little
thinking
something.
about it, yeah.
Probably should. I don't think we should take breaks
No.
anymore.
I have a little.
Let's get down to
something
business.
to defeat the
To,
Huns.
To defeat
the readings.
the words.
the
The words. The readings
Yeah.
that he can't. Yep.
I'm going to cast fucking enhance ability.
I already get advantage.
Oh, why do you already get advantage?
Because he said I
All right, then I'll just cast guidance.
Okay.
Thanks, though.
You're welcome.
All right. You should do your best work tonight, DeWitt.
Here we go. Best
I believe in
work.
you.
Here it comes. Nice. 21. That's my best work.
Yeah. DeWitt seems a lot more focused this evening as you go into the studies and start teaching him, and he's able to put together full sentences. I mean, granted, the words usually have to be a bit shorter. The longer words he still has to kind of sound out and push through, but I mean, he's reading full
The
sentences.
quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
Happiness.
Good job. Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we moved from the adjective to the noun.
Now you're going to move on to
Yeah,
disestablishmentarianism.
I did that.
Yeah.
What?
Good job.
Not next, you're going to be able to do disestablishmentarianism.
This is there's Harry.
That's
in
tomorrow
his-
night. That's not tonight. Don't
Okay,
worry. You're
that
doing
sounds
great tonight.
hard.
Happiness.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to that. Wow, you're a great teacher, Nix.
Thank
Thanks.
you. You're a great student. See what happens when you really put forth an effort, you know?
Yeah.
Better than my teachers when I was a kid.
Me?
Yes.
Were your teachers rude to you or something?
No, they were just boring.
Oh, mine were quite
Ooh, Are you
rude.
saying I'm interesting? Hey, speaking of interesting, can we check in on Merton? Do you have any spells left for today?
I definitely have the spell slots to check in.
Or
on
were you
Martin.
saving them for Lorenzo?
No, I talked to Lorenzo last night. Okay.
Put him on red.
Sitting in his bed.
Nimue, come back.
I'm sure he has other things going on in his life.
Just sitting in
He's
his
a
bed.
bedridden half snake.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
He's a busy man. He runs
Stop.
a whole city.
Doesn't.
he's the head keeper.
He just drinks.
He just drinks heavily.
He's got this scruff and he's just like bags under
God,
his
you're gonna
eyes
make me
waiting
feel
for
so
Nimue to...
bad. I actually feel guilty. Okay, this is a fictional character.
Flips a coin. Is she gonna call me today?
She loves me. She doesn't.
Call me not.
She calls
She
me
calls me.
Calls me not.
She calls me. Sits by his bed waiting. No call.
Oh my god.
Rip.
Anyway.
Hi,
To me,
Martin.
IRL.
It's Nimue. How are you? How have things been? Anything interesting going on
How's the
in
love life?
Galstead?
How's the love life?
Nix
No,
wants to know how's the love life.
Called out. Damn. Exposed.
Was that 25? No. So bad. Everything's biting me in the accident.
That's the best part.
You're the one sitting next to me being like, how's this love life? How's this love life?
to my actions.
Hello, Nimue. Things in Gelstead are good. Other than that, normal days. Weird last question, but I do have a...
Oh.
What did he say?
He said that he has a what?
Find out next time on.
See you guys.
A what?
Oh, what?
I'll send it again. A what? And we're friends.
Funny that you've taken such an interest, but I have a love interest. Weird coincidence and happenings as to how. Wow.
Ooh, pray tell.
He says that he does have a love interest and that it was really weird how it happened.
Imagine that.
What a crazy world we live in.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe next time we talk to him, we can find out.
The name or
ASL.
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe you should start a business, a Beverly Hills dating service.
Oh.
Oh my God, you could make so much
First
coin.
order of business. Nimue and Lorenzo.
Oh,
that
yeah.
doesn't need any. We don't need help.
If only I had sending.
They don't need
It'd be so
help.
easy.
Gets to 5th level in cleric just to be able to.
I'm
Pretty sure I can
multi-classing
get
now.
Pretty sure I can get it too.
A long
I
con.
can never get it.
So
I want to check now.
funny. Cause you can take it. Cause you can take a spell from any class, can't you?
At a certain level.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
I highly doubt I can take it.
But I wouldn't.
I don't
take-
think it's
I
a
wouldn't-
ranger spell.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
waste sending
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, well.
The long con.
It's all about the chaotic nature of the game. And then I'll send one message to Lorenzo. But away from the
Guilt
group.
trip.
Okay, I was
I'm
like,
fucking
and
guilt
I'm not
tripping.
gonna say. We don't need to role play it because it's just me updating him, and I just do it every now and again. Okay.
That's not the type of
Every now
role
and again,
playing
every
they
night.
want to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
You hear the sigh of relief in his voice as he responds.
Diary and writes down every word you tell him.
Wow, that's really weird.
He doesn't do that. He's not that kind of guy.
He's weird. He's weird.
He's half lizard now, so yeah.
Aren't we all a little half lizard?
No, I don't think that's. All right. So another evening passes by. You all gain your benefits of a long rest, and the morning finds you. Sounds of the morning birds foraging for their meals for the day and to feed their young. Critters abound in the areas around you as the tiny hut fades and the sunlight begins to take on less red, green, and yellow hues to it. But the rest of this half-day travel is yours. If there's anything you would like to do, kind of studying the map that you got from the collections vault that gives you an idea. It obviously isn't this detailed, like, topographical map that shows you every little bit, but it does give you a general path as to the direction that you want to go. Looking at it, it does look like it's probably going to be about a 3-day trek through the mountains to get to this center point. The beginning kind of takes you through like almost ravine-like areas. There is a point on the map that you're not quite sure what it's saying, but it's almost like there's like this little drawn doorway and like the road goes in there, and then there's like the path isn't drawn, and then there's another doorway and the path is drawn. So you're not quite sure what that represents.
Oh, we're
but
gonna have to go through a fucking mountain or some shit.
Well, I mean, that's the point, right?
I'll have to go underground. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast divination. I only have enough incense for one more casting. But I'm going to cast divination one more time, and my question is, will we find Bartholomew alive within the next 7 days?
And close your eyes and focus again. And you feel the hand on your left shoulder this time. There isn't the same degree of warmth. There's kind of this mild breeze that blows your hair. It's not like a cold chill, almost as if in confirmation, but suggesting there's more to it.
Okay. All right. We can keep going. Let's keep traveling. Okay.
Okay. Is there anything for the half-day travel that anyone would like to accomplish? If not, we are going to go into a skill challenge for finding your way through these 3 days.
Oh, god damn it.
Those feathers I have,
Mhm.
I would like to tie them onto my staff.
Okay. You got it.
I don't know if I'm just gonna do it.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything to do.
Nah,
I'm good.
All good.
Okay. So as you exit the thickened part of the forest and get to the base of these, what starts as just almost like hilled areas and crescendos into these like tall peaks that seem to jut up like almost out of nowhere above these hills and continue further in. We will be doing a skill challenge. So basically, one of you, for each leg of this journey, there'll be a couple legs of the journey each day. You guys can tell me how you'd like to. Someone decides it's their go. You guys tell me what you would like to do to navigate your way through this mountain range for that leg of the journey. You can use your skills, your spells, be creative with it, whatever ideas you have to navigate your way through. And if you succeed, you make it through. every time you fail, I will roll on a table and something will happen. So, yeah. Who would like to start us off on the first leg of your journey into the Giant Spine mountain range?
I'll start by just looking for the path. I'll look real hard.
Every time you use one skill, it cannot be used again. Just keep that in mind.
Well,
So,
if anybody should do like a perception check, it should be me. So
okay.
yeah.
So finally making your way to the Giant Spine mountain range, you've heard through different tales and different, mumblings and things that you've heard and read that the legend has it that the Giant Spine is the remnants of a long dead corpse of some massive creature. And through your learnings, you've learned that this is, with most stories, not entirely the case, but there is some truth to it as you head to what seems to be the true corpse of this long dead titan. The body of the behemoth is what you head for. So as you begin your trek into this mountain range, Nimue, roll your perception check to, you can get assistance. So if people are helping you, you can roll with advantage.
Okay.
Also remember rocks. FYI.
What?
Remember that book I got?
About the birds, not the
Oh, about
not
rocks.
the rocks.
Yeah, the birds and
On
the bees.
ground.
Right. Okay. Does anybody want to help me look for like the beginning of this journey? There should be a path, should there not? Or like
You look
some
to the
sort of-
crudely drawn map, and it basically it's literally just like triangles for the mountains. And you have found your spot there, and looking at the mountain range, you don't obviously see it like a road that leads.
Right. Okay. Well, anybody want to help me?
Sure.
Okay, great. I'm going to roll with advantage, and I'm going to guidance myself.
Okay. Or,
Hell yeah.
sorry, you can repeat skills, but every time you repeat one, the DC gets higher.
Oh, I see. Well, that one was 28.
All right, you found the trail. End of skill challenge. We're good.
Okay, so taking that momentary pause on the edge of this mountain range, you scan the area, and you can see between two of the larger peaks that seem to jut up, there's almost like this rock fall, like this rock slide area where there's these large boulders that seem to have like spilled out over a hill that almost creates like a natural crease through the first two peaks that would lead you further into the mountain range itself. And you begin to make your way up the rock fall. It takes you a good quarter of a day to climb up, as it's a steep climb and they're large boulder. It's almost difficult terrain essentially for you guys to make your way up it. So two of you are fine. It's pretty easy to make your
I
way.
should have taken freedom of
You guys are
movement.
like the two friends that are like hopping from boulder to boulder, like, come on, guys. And everyone else is like climbing up the rocks. Eventually,
Ranger thing make it so none of us are affected by difficult terrain while traveling.
I actually think that might be true.
I don't know. I can't remember if it's
I think
all
it's
of us
just
or
your
me.
terrain. I think it's
Like
your
your
favorite terrain.
it affects everybody.
But I can't remember
well,
the unearthed.
And,
Hold on.
and unearthed, you don't get favored terrain anymore.
Right. So it might
Oh.
be.
Lame.
Yeah. Because
I
not
like
ev-
this
it wasn't
terrain.
always useful in most campaigns.
Yeah.
You know?
Hold on. I'm pulling it up real quick because I think you do have something that does that.
It just says you ignore difficult terrain, but as a party, we can't be lost except by magical means.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's how they fixed it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you guys would still be affected.
Yeah.
Can't you be more useful, man?
Why don't you guys just walk better?
Why don't you just learn how to fly?
Why don't you learn how to fly?
DeWitt knows how to
can.
fly.
I could teach you.
Learn how.
So
You have wings.
it takes you
See,
a quarter of a day. And as you've already traveled about a half a day, it's starting to get, the sun's getting lower in the sky. It's afternoon at this point in time, probably the equivalent around like 4 or 5 o'clock. You make it finally to the top of this rock fall. And glancing down in, you can see almost a ravine that has been like carved out. There's more rock fall that goes down into this ravine. They seem to have like come down off the sides of these peaks and like filled this void almost. but the ravine goes down and kind of winds in, and you can't see further in as it goes around a bend between the mountain walls. Who would like to lead the next leg of this journey?
Can I do a nature check to find any tracks?
Tracks is
Like
in,
any footprints to see, like, if people have been, like, if anyone has walked a trail recently to see where their footprints have gone. See if we can just follow that instead.
Sure, I'll allow that
Cool.
Inspire him?
if you would like to.
I would like to.
Also, I'm gonna cast guidance on you as well. What a nice cantrip.
What should I sing?
Dumb cantrip.
Okay, here we go. Inspiring you is easy 'cause you're beautiful. Making tunes about you is all I wanna do. Inspiring you is more than just a dream come true. And everything that I do is inspiring you. La 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 la. Do 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 do.
Take your inspiration, guys.
Amazing.
What does inspiration do again?
D8.
That song was so good.
So you can add a D8
I got
and
real
a
lost.
D4 to your roll.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
baby.
Oh.
Did you crit?
Yes.
And then don't forget your
Oh my
D4
God.
too from guidance.
Oh, I can't even see that. Okay. 34.
I thought my 28 was good.
So, stepping to the top of this rock slide and looking into this ravine, you can see the difficult terrain continues on down into the ravine. And you take a moment to kind of scout it out and check the surroundings. And it seems really hard to make any tracks throughout a rock fall, because where you'd pick up one, it's hard to pick up where the next would be. But as you follow a couple like hooved prints that you see, you trace them up, and you see the very faint markings of a game trail that goes up the side of the mountain instead of down into the ravine and leads straight along the path and along
Perfect.
the basically the crest of this ravine out of the difficult terrain. That
I
will
did it.
cut a lot of time off of your journey.
All right, perfect. I point it out
So-
and I start leading.
You all take this trail, and it's precarious. It's small. It's almost as like you guys have seen sheep, how they can just make those paths and somehow stand on fucking vertical surfaces. But it's not quite like that. I mean, it's angled, and it's like a single file trail as you follow it. One wrong move could send you falling into the ravine, which would just hurt a lot. But it's easy enough to traverse this following Seven's lead.
Hell
with
yeah.
34. You follow this ravine easily. And as you come around that bend, you can see the ravine widens, and there's almost like this pit-like area where the rock falls have all come in and almost like gathered in the center. And there's like this like spiral of rocks where everything is just fallen off and gathered in this area. You make your way easily around it on the edge of the ravine, and come to the next like set of peaks that go up. They're a little bit less jagged than the first that you had come across, but this would be your next leg of your journey. And this would be the last one of this day of your first day's travel into the giant spine. So who would like to helm this last check?
What do we see again?
You basically are outside of where that like spiral of rockfall is, and you can see there's like a small valley that leads to more like peaks that come up, and there are small paths and ravines that cut through them, but there are a few different peaks, so you're not quite sure where, how. Oh.
I could fly up and try and no. Never mind.
Can I? Oh wait, yeah, you can fly. Huh?
Can I try? Unless somebody's got.
No, you go.
Can I just try and find like? I'm trying to think of something I can do.
Your investigation skill's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that earlier. I mean, because I'm not really sure how to use Dex right now. That's like the. Can I see if there's like traps and shit, or if I mean, you didn't see signs of people, did you?
No, I just found the game trail.
Yeah. I don't know. Just
Could you like
for the
investigate
best.
the map more and see if it shows the trail that we're on right now and which peak we need to go to or something?
Oh yeah, the most efficient way to get there. Is that good enough, or do I need to?
Sure, I'll allow you to make an investigation check. The DC is not high, but it's not low, as you're going to be comparing your actual hand-drawn map, or your actual map to the hand-drawn like sketch, and trying to see if you can
Okay.
compare, find the right spot to go through.
Guidance.
D4.
Yeah.
I always get a 1 on that. So 14. So
Still, one's better
22.
than nothing.
A 20 is what you needed.
Nice.
As you pull up the map, and you spend a moment studying it and kind of like laying it over and trying to decipher. And for a moment, none of the peaks look like they match the map. They literally look like they were just drawn triangles. And then you start to see that some of them are a bit larger, some a bit smaller, and you find a spot where it overlays perfectly on 3 or 4 of the peaks. And the path seems to curve just barely around one of them. And looking forward to this small valley and kind of seeing there are 3 like ravines that branch off from this into the peaks in front of you. And you compare the map, the right one, you're sure that the right path is the path that you should take that will keep you on the path, on this set trail towards the body of the behemoth. You all nod in agreement, follow through, and the right path, as you pass through the valley and kind of just glance down the other 2, one of them is completely caved in with rocks. Like there's been some type of landfall or rock slide that has caved in and blocked the left side path. The center one, you can see just it goes in, and there's like a dark cave almost that it leads to, like up a little ways up one of the hills. There's just a cave, kind of menacing looking. Not sure what kind of creature would make a home there. But you
Bear.
follow that. It's a pretty large cave.
Yeah, it's a pretty big bear.
You follow that.
Pretty large bear.
Oh,
No, not that.
No, not that
No,
bear.
that bear's in
That's
the
a
wither
forest
one.
bear.
That's a forest bear. But you
we
pick
wouldn't
that,
be here if that bear was here.
You pick that right path, and as you go in, it still is difficult terrain. There's like bramble and overgrowth and trees that seem to crowd this really narrow path that winds through. But it's the most open of the ones that you've seen, and the one that makes the most sense coming through. And you follow it through. Eventually, you get a little ways in, and the sun begins to set, and nighttime starts to take. You guys can continue to traverse through and make Constitution saving throws to see if you suffer a point of exhaustion, or you can try and make camp here.
Well, can you cast your spell and see if there's anywhere good to make a
can.
camp from around here?
I can cast my spell. Okay, wrong way. I cast. Oh God, what's it called again? Wild Cunning.
Wild cunning.
Yep.
You see those kind of like nature sprites appear and shoot off in different directions, and eventually they return. You get the sense that there's nowhere around you that is an optimal place to set up a camp. It's all like curved, rocky, hilled, angled terrain. You can tell that the rest here is probably not going to be as comfortable as you've been used to on the road.
What about the cave? What about the cave?
There might be monsters in there.
Wait, how far away is it?
It was on the center ravine, so you'd just have to backtrack.
Oh, yeah.
You'd lose some time.
Well, I guess we could stay here.
I mean, I think that we should probably get some sleep because
Yeah,
I think there's going to be a lot in store for us.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Okay.
And we should
Even if it's a
definitely
little
be taking
uncomfortable.
watch tonight. I can set up alarm too, just to make sure.
Cool.
Is there any place like
Up-
available to?
Like a bigger spot than
There's
normal
nothing
to
that's
set up a tiny hut.
optimal. I mean, you
Well,
can
can I
set up
still
a
set it
hut,
up?
but there's nothing like flat ground. It's all going to be like in brush. You'd have to clear out some, and even then, like the ground is angled and bumpy, and it's not going to be comfortable.
Maybe I can. Is it dirt? Is there some dirt?
Doesn't
Dirt, rock,
Wait. Didn't someone get us a
Vegetation.
boat this game?
I don't think so.
some of what?
I mean, I
Was
can try
last-
to
was
mold
last
earth to just make it a little bit flatter for us where I can. I mean, I can't do a ton, but
Yeah, sure. And I can shape the stone to make it flat too.
yeah. You want to do that?
Yeah. And I'll do that to make a flattened area for us, and then
All right, combining those two abilities, you all take a little bit of time to clear out some of the vegetation and shape the stone, kind of bringing it up to a flattened area and covering it with a small layer of earth to give a little bit of a softness to the bedding. And you seem to have created nice enough space to set up a camp.
perfect.
Two of you.
I'll set up the tiny hut.
Okay.
after that.
And I'll cast alarm around
Okay.
where the tiny hut's gonna be.
Okay. Having done what you two did, you made it so your rest in this area would not have given you a full long rest. You wouldn't suffer exhaustion, but you would not have gained the effects of a long rest. However, you two created a comfortable space for you all to
Nice.
sleep for the evening.
Let's go.
You all lay down, quite sure of yourselves in this journey, as your first day has gone off without a hitch so far, traveling into this mountain range. And sleep begins to take you all.
Definitely keeping some watch.
Yeah, I think that we should have at least one person staying up keeping watch.
Okay. So who is taking the first night's watch?
I'll do first watch of the evening.
Okay. And as you stay up to do so, you see the form of Virgil of land in a tree right off to your side. Ever vigilant.
I'll ask him to keep an eye out. Give
Ever
me a little.
vigilant.
Ever vigilant.
I'll just ask him to keep an eye out and let me know if he sees any danger before I do. If he would be so kind.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Guidance.
If I have it, might as well use it.
No, yeah. Just like the noise.
Fucking 24.
24.
Nice.
So you stay up and kind of keep your vigil on the camp for this leg of your watch. And it's kind of eerie. As you're sitting there, there's like an almost over exaggerated creak and moan to the trees as a slight breeze blows through the ravine. There's like as the trees kind of sway and move to this breeze. There's no sign of animal life around you. Like eerily quiet other than the creak and moan of these trees and the kind of like of the breeze that blows through. There's a couple instances where you see movement out of the corner of your eye, and your head turns, and you see the trees swaying. And again, to one side, you glance over quickly as out of the corner, it almost seems like a humanoid form. But again, just a tree swaying. And the moon starts to come up overhead and cast down these...
Too perceptive, eh?
Yeah, cast down these shadows that, again, just seem to, like, intensify
We're
the
all
eeriness of this.
inside the hut, right?
You wouldn't be able to see very well from inside the hut with it being shades of red, blue, or red, green, and yellow. So you would have to be kind of outside of it to keep like an accurate watch of things.
Can I be like half in, half out? You know, just like have like my head out.
Sure.
Got my 1 foot in, take my 1 foot out.
Okay.
But once the moon comes up, there's one moment where you're kind of looking forward and this shadow almost looks like a hand with these spiked claws come up in front of you, and you turn and there's just this tree branch that's swaying and creaking. But nothing happens other than that on your watch.
So
It's alive.
Look at that.
He's just waiting for the next watch when one of us has shit ass perception.
As sleep finds the rest of you. 7.
Damn it. I hate sleeping. I should have taken first watch.
More confident in your rests the last few nights, and sleep finds you easier, especially having your allies kind of carve out a nice comfortable place for you all to bed down. And as your vision swirls into the darkness of sleep, the scenes start to take shape of once again a familiar forest. Being already familiar with this, you kind of breathe a sigh of like discontent, and there's a chuckle from behind you. Yes, brother, it's me again.
Yes, I figured as much.
So, how you been? What have you been up to?
Oh, you know, things.
Wow,
Yes.
ever the charmer, aren't you?
I'm quite good at it.
So, what have you all been up to? It's been a few evenings since I've had the opportunity to grace your presence.
It has, and how lovely that time was.
As always.
What do you want this time?
Have you thought about my offer?
No. I've been quite busy, you see.
Oh,
Sleeping sometimes.
You can cut the charade. I know that you have thought about this. I know it may not be what you want, but you know in your heart of hearts that it's what is necessary, don't you? You must see that.
Oh, as if you're one to speak about my heart of hearts.
Yes, you always see right through me, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You should
Yes.
know the heart better than anyone, shouldn't you not?
Oh, yes, of course I do.
It is in your nature.
It is in my nature. And I know exactly what my heart wants. So, brother, what is it that your heart wants?
Well, cutting the pleasantries then, Mother grows impatient. Seems I have failed at my duties to bring you back. Unfortunately, she wants it a different way than I have suggested to you, and the longer you wait to answer my question, well, the worse it gets for you. So, I ask you one more time to think on what I have asked.
Did you expect an answer right now? Is that what you want?
Well, time is of the essence.
Well, you know, I have this thing where I've been holding a grudge for maybe the past 14 years, and it's still just there, just nagging at the back of my mind as to why I can't quite put my finger on it, but it seems that you and the rest of our family have something to do with it. I'm not quite sure how, you know?
Kind of over-exaggeratively strides forward and sits on a stump and just... the plight of the youngest child, always so tortured. So you get the smallest end of the stick. Is that right? Is that what I'm getting here? You feel hurt. You're so upset because your family didn't give you what you think you deserved. Is that it?
Oh, no. It's not that my family didn't give me what I deserve. It's that I wanted more.
Well, of course you did. That does not surprise me.
Of course not. I'm not willing to sit here alongside the rest of you, just settling for second prize.
You know you could have more. You and I. We could
Yes.
be the prize in Mother's eyes. You could show her. The rest, they can't do what you have done, or you likely go through what you have been through. Trust me, brother, I empathize with your plight.
No, I highly doubt that, brother. I see this differently. While all the rest of you are willing to help Mother out, why? You know, for me, I would like to be in Mother's place. Why her? Why help? You know, why do all of you help her? Why settle for second place when you can have it all?
You know, brother, I envy you. What
Do you
you've been
now?
through, this group of friends you've put together, it is far more than I think that we could have ever achieved as a family. But you could take that. You could take those lessons and bring it into our fold. We could start anew. Maybe we could take Mother's place. You and I.
I would have to think about that.
I pray you do. As I said, time is of the essence.
Time is of the essence.
No.
I pray Mother doesn't hear about our conversation for your sake.
Oh, trust me. I know what to keep a secret from Mother. Anyway, it would still do me well to know where you were so I could keep a tab on you. Why don't you show me?
Oh, wouldn't you just love that?
I would love that very much.
What am I rolling again?
Wisdom saving throw.
Inspiration. In his dream.
Oh, that's not good. It's not. Oh, God. I got 7.
Fitting.
That's a crit.
That's a crit.
He says this, and the feelings of exhaustion that you have experienced over this last couple weeks almost seem to flood back into your mind, and you grow dizzy for a moment, and your memory or your strength in mind falters. The forest begins to melt away around you, giving rise to peaks, mountains, the very area that you find yourselves in, and you glance around, shaking your head, and you see your brother taking in everything. Says,
He has no idea where the fuck you are. Did you get that one?
I cannot imagine what you've gotten yourself into here. Where
good.
have you found yourself?
You know,
I-
I'll be honest with you, brother. I'm not quite sure exactly where I am right now as well. So, good luck.
You and I both know that that is a lie. But
No, his deception's pretty high.
we'll speak again soon, as time is wearing thin. And he gives you a little, like, fucking boop on the nose before the dream fades and melts. And you find yourself, eyes flushing open, kind of breathing heavy. You can feel, like, a damp sweat underneath your feathers. And you breathe just a sigh. Who's on second watch?
Well, I'm awake anyway.
Also, I would like to point out that the spell says it's transparent from inside the tiny hut.
Yeah, but you've got shades of red, yellow, and green.
I think that's how it looks from the outside, but if you're looking from
Yeah.
the inside out.
Oh, it's
Exactly.
transparent? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's transparent, so you can see
It's a
through
one-way mirror.
So I'm not outside of the hut.
Okay.
I don't want anything to be able to touch me. I don't like that.
It's like when you have your arm hanging like off the bed.
yeah.
That's free game right there.
I'll do second watch.
So you and 7?
Oh wait, you're doing it?
I mean,
Oh yeah,
I
okay,
mean,
fuck it. You got it.
yeah, I'll do second watch.
Okay. Make a perception check.
I'll guide it. I'll give him I'll be like, have a good watch. I'll cast guidance, then go to sleep. So you can roll guidance with that.
Oh, okay. $21.
21.
Anyway.
21.
The same scenery greets you as the moon has now risen pretty high in the sky, and you see these over-exaggerated shadows that almost look like clawed appendages that like reach out in your direction. And as you glance, you can just see the swaying of branches and the creaks of the trees. There is one moment where a movement catches your eye, unlike any of the ones with the moving branches, and you turn, and you can see about 10 feet away from the dome, a humanoid figure that seems composed of like branches and twigs, wood itself. As you see these kind of eyes that catch the moon's light and glint for a moment, and the head creaks.
Wait, how tall is it? Can I tell?
Just humanoid size, about 5-6 feet. And just watches. And you glance behind it, and the moon catches another pair of eyes. Another. And another. And another.
So terrifying.
My God.
Just watching.
That is so creepy.
You hear the ever-present creaking.
Okay. So how many pairs I saw 4, 5? I've
Seen
I've seen
amount.
enough. Okay.
Yeah.
In this case, I turn around and see whoever's the closest person to me. Whoever the, I don't know. Fuck it, I'll just say DeWitt. Okay, DeWitt's closest to me. All right. DeWitt, wake up.
Dima.
DeWitt, wake up! Wake up!
The rest of you eyes flutter open.
Oh, good, you're all finally awake.
You're finally awake.
Finally awake.
And as this happens, there's a flash on the screen, and you see the words, "The Elder Scrolls V." Skyrim.
Not again.
You all find yourselves in the back of a cart.
Need something.
Need something?
What are you from, horse thief?
Must be the wind. Wow.
There are multiple pairs of eyes looking onto us, and they're quite close, actually.
Like,
They haven't moved, but they're quite close.
can we see
you
what
point
he's
them
talking
out?
about?
You
I will
look and
point
you
them
can
out.
see the moon just glinting off of these eyes and barely the silhouette of these humanoid, seemingly twig-like creatures.
Ooh, ooh,
They're
ooh.
just swaying in the breeze.
We all woke up, right? Mm-hmm. Did I read anything about the whatever I'm seeing in that book that I took with me from Bart D's?
You can read more if you'd like.
Well, yeah, I'll flip through the book and try and find like any kind
Make
of
an investigation check since you're kind of flipping through quick.
That is a 23.
Yeah, you would know that there is mention of from long past magical use and curses that have passed through this mountain range and the area surrounding that there are almost sentient creatures known as blights that are like these creatures made of wood and things. They don't pose much of a threat individually, but in numbers, not so easily thwarted.
Does the book say, like, what their vulnerabilities are or anything of that sort? Or, like, why they're, like, what their abilities are?
I guess this was a beast.
So how are their stats?
Can I know their wisdom saving
AC.
throw? Or
Yeah. Oh, your books are all over the floor.
A lot of laughing tonight. Holy shit.
yeah, it's been a funny night. We're funny people, okay? Okay.
I make myself laugh. I like to laugh at myself a lot.
I like
Some
that
of
a lot,
them, especially this
These coins
coins.
things are so cool.
some of the smaller ones. The smaller ones.
hair like that. That's just right there.
What is that voice from?
Oh god. Oh
God. Oh god.
Oh god.
Guy.
Oh yeah.
From Family Guy.
It's it's
Mort.
Mort from.
I'm
Family
thinking
Guy.
South Park. The one nerd guy that's like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, Scott Malkinson.
Scott Malkinson.
I'm Sean Melkison, got diabetes.
Some of the smaller ones that are known as twig blights are vulnerable to fire. All of them are immune to being blinded or deafened by any means.
They're immune to it?
But other than that, I mean, they're, like I said, they don't pose much of a threat individually, but more in numbers have been known to overwhelm people, groups before.
I'll relay all of this information.
Oh, so they scared of fire?
Yeah, here, I've got some stuff. I mean, do we want...
Are we fighting
But
them?
I don't-
can't get in
they
here.
Can't get to us.
Oh, that's true.
Okay. So
But maybe
Yeah,
we'll
but
be ready
what
because...
happens in the morning when the tent goes away?
As
the
you're
hut goes away?
kind of talking, there's like a and you turn behind you and you can see a couple of them just like arms
Yeah,
like
I can't
thumping
sleep like
onto the
this.
dome.
So should
then
we
stopping.
We have to sleep
And
if
just-
we.
Yeah, we have to stop them if we want to sleep. And yeah, maybe there might be more in morning if we don't fight them.
Hey, fuck off! That didn't work.
Well, shall we take
If I
action?
cast a spell, like an area of effect.
It's been a while since that's happened at an opportune moment.
So like if I cast like an area of effect spell, like Spirit Guardians, for example, would it extend outside of the dome?
I believe so. Actually, I don't know.
Mag-
Spells
Magic-
are barred from passing through it.
But from
Other magical effects can't extend through the dome.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
damn,
I've got oil
great.
and a tinder box. I'm saying... Well, it says here they're susceptible to fire.
oh,
Some of them.
that's the twig blights.
Not all of
the
them.
tiny
The
ones.
smaller ones.
Well, how many smaller ones do I see?
Just a couple. Most of them are medium, like humanoid
Well, they
sized.
probably still don't like fire.
I mean, while we wait, I could just throw some ball bearings out and we can laugh while they fall down.
That sounds. One side will do fire, one side do ball bearings.
Yeah, well, I'll take you on the ball bearing.
It sounds fun, huh? Is there like a cliff or something?
No, you guys are in the middle of a ravine.
So, what are we doing?
well, I can't leave this unless we want it to go
We
away.
should, but I can just throw
More of
stuff
them
out,
start to
can't
move.
I?
No, you can't throw anything out unless you leave.
Oh, we should
entirely.
do something.
Okay, we need to do something. They're converging.
Surrounding
And
the
they're like
dome.
listening to us.
How do we make them get back?
Just slow
Oh,
movements.
easy. Here you go. I knock an arrow,
Okay.
and I shoot one. Oh, I guess I'd have to step out of the hut too.
I think your arrows can pass
No,
through.
I
No,
don't think
I
anything
thought
can
nothing could
pass.
go in, but I guess that I
You
don't
shoot
think it
an
can go
arrow
in
and
or
it's
out.
like,
I don't think anything can go in or out.
I don't like this.
Oh, creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast a spell, can move through it freely. So your arrows can move through,
Does that mean
and
that
your oil can,
So-
and your tinder.
It's just not
things can't,
magical
but
effects.
not
Magical
magical
effects.
effects?
Because
Okay.
it is,
okay.
in essence, a magical effect. So you'd be like,
well, let's get. I mean,
Are
we've got
blights
time.
undead?
So you could
I don't think
punch through it technically too.
Can I?
I don't
Yeah.
want to get grabbed.
Well, I
they're
guess I
constructs.
could.
So I could literally just shoot through the hut, right?
Can I
Yeah.
just try to punch? No? Should I try to punch?
Well,
no, they're considered plants.
Yeah, we got this. It's fine.
You know, if I cast blight on them,
should
are you gonna cast that though?
no.
well,
Fuck that
we
shit.
got to
I
do something.
try to punch one?
Wait, I've got a really good.
Yeah.
I've got a really good counter
Alright.
for this actually.
Well, we should do something. So if you don't do something now,
Are we
I'll punch
exiting hut to attack?
I'm
Or
not.
Are we
No.
all
We can.
staying? in
Well, we
here?
can always do the thing where we like go in, make an attack, and then come back
They've
out.
started to converge.
oh my god, okay, we're
surrounding
taking too long.
the
I'm
dome.
shooting the one on top of the fucking hut.
I'm
a
punching
bunch
one.
of them.
I'm shooting one of them.
I'm gonna
Okay,
throw.
make an attack roll.
I'm punching one.
I'm gonna light my oil, like do the Molotov thing, and
Molotov
throw it
cocktail?
at the biggest clump of
I crit.
lights.
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna use control fire to spread that. Or control flame.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna hit him with my new bow.
I'll
You gonna
step out
speak
and
your
cast
command word?
Word of
Yes.
Radiance to
Frelfin. I speak the word Frelfin.
Esta mañana. So you hear Seven butcher the Elven language, and you watch as the runes on this dark wood bow start to light up and encircle the bow itself, and the string starts to exude this like mist of frost. It starts to like grow these crystals that start to cake to the edge of the string
You should've done
and
fire.
exude this like aura of frost around the bow itself. As he draws back, the arrow itself starts to coat itself in these frost crystals, and he looses the arrow, and it strikes one of them right in the chest, and you see this burst of ice crystals like shoot up it.
Crit, right?
Yep.
Wait, you crit? Holy shit.
That's cocked.
Clearly I've been not paying attention.
God damn, that's cocked again.
How many are around the hut right now?
Okay,
Like, how many can
4.
we see?
Enough that you can't just count them.
But, so, like,
The hut is surrounded by them at this point in time.
okay.
Hey.
I think you killed it.
15 damage from my first arrow.
So you watch the ice crystals coat the edge of this one, and then it like stumbles back, and there's a shatter, and its arm falls off, having like completely frozen over in ice crystals, and it like shambles to the ground.
Yeah.
You light your Molotov oil flask cocktail, throw it out of the hut, and there's a whoosh, and it shatters and spreads across some of the blights. And Taylor, you use your control flames, and you guys watch fire kind of erupt around the outside of the dome, everywhere. And as you kind of shield your eyes and the flames clear, there are the smoldering ruins of multiple of them around. And the ones that are still up around the hut, there's like little bits of them. Like one of them has a little twig sticking off its head that's still got a little flame on it.
Oof, there's a
And
little flame. I can still extend it by 5 more feet.
He starts to like back off of the hut, and you watch Tail raise his hand again in the fire. Engulfs this thing, and there's like a... And they all start to back off away from the hut slowly.
Back the fuck up, motherfuckers! Pop, pop, pop!
All right. I walk and grab one of the, or grab like the arm that fell off of the.
Don't bring that thing in here.
I just want to examine it.
Okay.
The fallen arm.
So you grab it and pull it in, and it's still itself like encased in a bit of frost and iced.
Does it move? Is it
Interesting.
moving?
No.
Okay, that would be really creepy.
Are you keeping that?
Are you gonna eat that?
Are you gonna eat that?
No, I mean, would you like it?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to look at it, but by all means.
Okay, cool. I put it in my sack.
They do
Okay.
spriggans.
Yeah.
Very creepy.
They're pretty much.
Well, do you think that we can, like, sleep now? Or
Well, I'm not
How far away
sure.
do they back up?
They slowly back up, probably about 30 feet away from the hut. Some of them are still watching as others disappear off into the trees in the darkness. There are a couple who still watch for a little while.
Well, they can't see
and we can't
us.
not sleep.
Yeah, I think we should go back to bed.
I mean, yeah. Who wants to take?
The last watch.
I'll do it.
Okay. Make your perception check.
These poor plants just come up and they're like, "What is this weird sphere
Yep,
here?"
that's
And they're
a-
like banging on it, like, "I wonder what this does." Then suddenly, like, fire.
Essentially, that's exactly what just happened.
Run away!
I'm not a smart twig.
But I know what fire is.
19.
19. You watch for the rest of the evening, and it takes an hour or two for the rest of them. Slowly, some of them disappear into the trees. There's still a couple remains. And as your watch is, getting close to ending, the rest of them disappear back into the foliage and the trees as the first throws of sun start to peek into the ravine itself over the edges of the mountains.
Did the book say anything about if they're like more prevalent within the evenings, like if they're nocturnal or something, or if
No.
well, So we could possibly encounter them during the day as well.
Possibly.
Great.
It
However-
seemed like
Daylight finds you.
it seemed like the louder we got, that like when we started talking and saying we needed to do something about those creatures, that it drew them in.
I mean,
Like the noise did.
we definitely should be stealthy, I think,
Yeah.
as we go forward.
Yes, I
That's a
agree.
good point.
I also am taking a spell this morning for anybody who has more trouble going through difficult terrain. I have a spell to help with that. So I was thinking, Nick, since you are already, not to be offensive or anything, but a little bit slower than the rest of the group. Yeah. If you wanted it, I could.
I mean, I have my boots if I need them, but if you want me to try to keep up over time, how long does it last?
I guess it only lasts an hour.
I don't care.
It's a 4th level spell, so I'll save it for now.
Okay.
So maybe if we get to something more difficult.
So who would like to helm the first leg of this day's journey?
Are we stealthing?
I think that would probably be intelligent.
Do you want me to look for traps?
Sure.
I don't think there's any traps in the middle of the forest or in the middle of the ravine. That's how we all die. We're like, nah, there's not gonna be any around here.
That's what I used to say when I was a bad rogue.
Oh, but now you're a good rogue.
Mhm.
So, right. So now,
I think I proved that.
even in the
pretty
middle
clearly.
of an uninhabited forest,
Hey,
you never know if there's traps. So.
listen to the good rogue.
Yeah, you remember that one trap I found with the plate and the stick?
No, I
Right?
don't. No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
You don't remember it because I disarmed it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I will do again. So I'm gonna look for traps. Unless somebody else wants to helm.
You can make
Are
another
we- are-
investigation check, but the DC is going to be higher since you've
shit, I forgot
already
about
used
that.
that skill during this journey.
I didn't really think that we're okay. Sorry, I misunderstood things. I didn't realize it was a skill check.
Does it look like our next leg of the journey is pretty clear? Or.
Oh, you're in
Does it
a
look-
super forested ravine.
Oh, so we're fine then.
No.
Hey, does someone want to fly up and get a bird's eye view?
Gaia?
See where to go? Kaya, you want to do that?
I mean, shared, but
Do you not want to fly?
no, I can. It's just shared. I can do that. I walk 10 feet away from everyone.
You don't have to.
I have to,
Okay.
unless you want.
No,
to
you don't have to
be-
do. You don't have to fly if you don't want to.
No, it's fine. I can do it.
Okay.
So I'll walk 10 feet away from everybody, and the veins in my skin turn black, my eyes turn black, and I let out this huge scream, and my wings unfurl, and I fly up in the air.
Wow, that was really
That looks
dramatic.
so painful.
Well, that's what happens every time.
Well, that's
Okay.
kind of sad.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
risking
Kaya
it
steps
for the
forward
group.
and you watch this change as she lets out this kind of feral, bestial scream as these bone-like wings protrude from her back, just like fly out, and she takes off and flies up. You can make a perception check. It has been done, so it will be
I mean,
a higher DC.
You're okay. Just do it anyway. Believe it.
I forgot to get into you before you took off. Surprise.
nope, 13.
13. As you fly up and are looking, the ravine itself you can see kind of extend and curve around one of the hilled areas that you're next to. You're not up high enough to see over that hill, and the ravine itself is still heavily forested as it curves around that. That's about all you can gather being up there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll fly back down
Okay.
and relay that.
So was it very clear at all?
No, not really. It's very forested.
And we're not really
don't
like on
know.
a path or anything, right?
No.
We're
You're in a ravine.
So we can really only go
2 ways.
two directions.
ways.
So forward is,
Until we get out of here.
I suppose.
Shark.
And that map said that we needed to curve around this mountain, right? So I guess we can just keep following that direction.
yeah.
I think that's what we're going to do.
All
Well,
right.
let's go.
So you continue winding your way through this heavily forested area, and kind of coming up around the corner that you had seen Kaya being up with the hill or the edge of one of the cliff sides. You guys get there, and there's a bit of an opening to like this rocky cliff sides that come up on the sides. And as you reach that, there's a couple of rocks that start to tumble off the edges. And as you notice this, your gaze peers up to the top of the cliffside. You see these two paws on one side, on the other side. These creatures' heads peer over, these massive, almost lion-esque looking faces with these huge spikes jutting off of them. These massive wings furl, and these tails come up with spikes jutting out the ends of them. And you hear another thing in front of you. You look, and another one steps out in the path in front of you, faced with these 3 manticores that have come up. And we'll pick up their next session.
God damn.
Ah, shit.
As soon as you're like claws and wings, I'm like, it's a fucking manticore.
Yep. But then he kept going, and I was like, there
Yep.
can't be this
My
many
first thought was
manticores.
Chimera, but
I wanted it to be.
If it were a chimera, it would be
Manticore?
really fucked.
yeah. It's all
Um,
Greek mythology, baby.
thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week with hopefully the follow-up to this.
No, we're just gonna start something new.
Yep,
Yeah.
new campaign.
Yeah.
It's over. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Remember that we all love you, and keep in mind always that friends who crit together stick together.
Bye now.
Except for when they trigger manticore attack.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Fuck you guys.
Oh, I was following a game trail, not where the game trail.
Thanks again for listening to this week's episode of Crit Seekers. If you're still craving more from the gang, give us a follow on social media. Our Instagram and Twitter handles are @CritSeekers. There you'll find memes, character art, audio clips, and more to keep you satisfied until next episode. If you've enjoyed everything you've heard so far, please do us a huge favor and head on over to podchaser.com and give us a review. It will really help us out. New episodes are posted every Monday at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Enjoy your week, and remember, friends who crit together, stick together.